evening, wrestling fans, and welcome to the Wrestle Talk Podcast. For the next 2 hours, we will bring you the latest pro wrestling news, in-depth analysis of all your favorite promotions from across the globe, and much, much more. We will also bring you exclusive interviews with the greatest professional wrestling personalities on the local, national, and international levels. If you want to follow the Wrestle Talk Podcast, check us out online at www.wrestletalkpodcast.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. And now, it's time for the reigning, defending, undisputed leader in pro wrestling podcast, the Wrestle Talk Podcast.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this week's episode of the Wrestle Talk Podcast right here on WrestleTalkPodcast.com and all your great social media outlets. We want to welcome each and every one of you here this evening to the Wrestle Talk Podcast. I want to thank all of our great viewers who tune in each and every Tuesday night right here on the program. Got a lot of great things coming up here tonight. As you can see on the bottom of the screen, make sure you send us stars as we go through the evening. Stars help us earn money to create more content, fun merchandise giveaways, support worthy causes, and so much more. Make sure to give us those stars. Also, make sure when you're adding your comments here in the section, make sure that you are logged in so we can see who all is joining us here tonight as a part of the Wrestle Talk Podcast. We're going to have a great guest later on this evening. Illmatic Angel is going to be joining us here at a little after 8 p.m. We got a lot of great things here to come. And again, WrestleTalkPodcast.com for all your great wrestling information, news, and analysis, just like our good friend Hank Hudson brings forward each and every week. Also, again, make sure to share that hashtag Let's Talk Wrestling. That's what we're here for each and every Tuesday night on the Wrestle Talk Podcast. Now, at this point, ladies and gentlemen, I want to go ahead and bring forward one of the hosts of the Wrestle Talk Podcast, an individual that we know each and every week has been bringing all those hard-hitting questions. The man from the West Coast himself, the one, the only Justin Wade. Justin, how are you doing this evening, sir, out there on the West Coast? You look like you're ready for a blizzard, my friend.
No blizzard. It's just my hat of choice for this week. Hard-hitting questions. I don't know about that, Mr. Roberts. I missed the last couple of weeks. I had a trip out to the Midwest, and now I'm back, and I had to recharge my batteries, and now I'm, as you can tell in the excitedness in my voice, I don't know what it is sometimes. Maybe it's just the rainy weather we got here right now in the Pacific Northwest. But we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Raw was a damn good show the other night. Cody Rhodes is ready for Roman, I think. And I think we got a lot to talk about.
100% there, Justin. I mean, Cody Rhodes, Paul Heyman. I mean, what more can you say about that in itself? It's a great promo. We're going to talk about that later on here this evening. Justin, again, we had the opportunity to talk about you coming back to the Midwest here. And again, it's been a great time. I mean, I know you had an opportunity to spend some time with some family. And like I said, we're going to get a few things taken care of here. We're going to talk about that trip here in just a little bit as well. But you know something? We are 2 of 3. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's a man who gets fired up each and every week. I don't know if we can contain this man's energy, his enthusiasm. A lot of people say we could bottle it up and sell it and make millions of dollars, but I'm going to go ahead and bring forward the man who we know as the regular host of the Wrestle Talk Podcast, and I think we got a little bit of special intro music for him as well, a proper introduction. Hold on a moment here. Do we have the introduction? You know who it is. Take it away. Oh, night out.
Que pasa, que pasa, que pasa, loyal members of the Wrestle Talk family. Let me be the third to welcome you guys in to episode 400 and... What? Wait a minute, I gotta show this. So either somebody's really dyslexic or somebody's trying to play a prank on me. No, hold on. Let's get this fixed real quick.
Well, if the Night Owl's getting that taken care of, Night Owl, I'm actually going to say that was a unintentional perfect segue because I had an opportunity today. We talk about everything with the pro wrestling world with the Wrestle Talk Podcast. If you make an opportunity to go over to the Wrestle Talk Podcast channel on YouTube, you could probably go back to episode 247.
That's right.
There's a lot of great guests there. I mean, again, just a few of them. We're going to remind people, if you enjoy the Wrestle Talk Podcast, if you go to the YouTube channel, interviews with such people as Gilbert, Manny Fernandez, The Patriot, Tully Blanchard, Paul Orndorff, Rene Dupree, Damian Priest, Bill Apter, Warhorse, just to name a few, over on the YouTube channel, Wrestle Talk Podcast.
Fabio Vega, Teddy Biasi, Paul Orndorff. I mean, we could keep going. I'm not trying to brag or nothing, you know what I mean? But we could keep.
But you know something? We got to give everybody the opportunity. You think that we've been going strong for all these episodes, and you have the opportunity. You can pull those on YouTube, or you can go to WrestleTalkPodcast.com and download the audio of all of those great interviews. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that as we go along here this evening. But I'm going to tell you right now, I kind of feel out of sorts here. I mean, again, you got the Night Owl wearing his representing Chiefs as they're going to be going for Super Bowl championship this weekend. You got Justin wearing his Seattle Kraken beanie. And I'm going to tell you right now, Justin, I know you and I have talked many a time. The Kraken has really become one of my favorite hockey teams. Opportunity. And actually, I got to give a shout out to our friend Jeff Manning, who's hooked up Luke Roberts, as he always does. Got a connection, and in the next coming weeks, and I know it's going to make our good friend Big Sexy mad, but I have a Seattle Kraken jersey on order. So
I have to say something.
Mm-hmm.
And you actually woke me up from my little stupor. You're the only man I know that whenever we go to a sporting event, it'd be the Cubs and the Cardinals, and you're wearing a goddamn White Sox jersey. You're wearing a jersey of a team that's not even playing whenever we go to sports.
Hey,
I know this is America, land of the free, wherever the hell you want, but when you go to a damn sporting event, you got to represent whoever's playing. Now, if you're a Cubs fan, which you are, Roberts, that's
we'll
okay.
Try not to hold that against you.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm glad you got a Kraken jersey, but don't wear it when it's the Blues versus Blackhawks. Okay.
Hey, I'll put it this way: you're wearing your Kraken hat. You're wearing
I'm in Seattle.
your Chiefs, your Chiefs gear. Right now, I think this says it all right here. Talking about professional wrestling right here in the Roberts office here at a part of my own personal studio. Tonight, we're going to have a great show, guys. I'm going to tell you, Illmatic Angel coming on at 8:00. Night Owl, I know you got a little bit of insight. Don't want to give away too much, but for those that don't know a little bit about the Illmatic Angel, what can they have to look forward to this evening on the program?
Well, you want to talk about somebody who is a man after my own heart, and we'll get into it with him a little bit later, but a guy who went from being what I would call a super fan to actually putting his money where his mouth is and making an impact in the world of professional wrestling. Much like yours truly, much like you guys, you go from being a fan to saying, hey, you know what? I think I could actually do something for this business. I think I could be a part of this business, and you respect it. And that's exactly what Illmatic Angel has done. Just this past weekend, ladies and gentlemen, 2 days ago to be exact, they had their debut show at a water park. At a water park. Exactly, bro. It was crazy. It's called Borracho Pro, which really kind of means alcoholic pro. So you kind of get the energy that they're going with. And then it's not that everyone there's an alcoholic. It's just kind of a vibe, you know, kind of like Pro Wrestling Gorilla. There's not really gorillas there, but it's like a gorilla outfit. You know what I mean? So Illmatic Angel, he's a big proponent of professional wrestling in all its styles, but him and his partners decided to get together and kind of do their own thing. And I cannot wait to get into that conversation with everybody's favorite New York Rican. Do you guys know what New York Ricans are?
No, what is that?
Okay, a New York Rican is somebody that's of Puerto Rican descent that is more New Yorker, that is more New Yorker than Puerto Rican. So they call themselves New York Ricans. Kind of cool. Kind of a cool deal, man. I can't wait to get into the details with him, though. He's going to be a great guest. You put the Night Owl stamp of approval on that sucker right there.
It's like when you're a St. Louisan, but you're a hillbilly. You're St. Louis, Lilbilly. So
we have a couple of hosts that might fall into that category. But I'm not naming any names or calling anybody.
Night Owl, I'm gonna tell you, when it comes down to it, you're in rare form tonight, my friend.
I'll be talking my shit, bro. We're in the Super Bowl. You understand me? What do you expect? What do you expect, man? This is a big week, baby. Oh, by the way, I'm a little resentful. Just wait till my shoot and shout segment later. And it is about wrestling, and you guys you're gonna be mad at me after this. I'm just letting you know.
And you're going to be mad come Sunday night when the Eagles walk out with this Lombardi trophy.
Really? Is this how we're gonna start the night?
Sure, why not?
Fucking bullshit!
Can we carry on with business here? Jay Wade, you're gonna have to separate us here along the way, please. Please.
Hey, I like a Donnybrook. I'll take both of you out.
Let's go, Donnybrook, baby. I like it.
Well, guys,
I like it. I would say I'm gonna punch you in the face and mess up that face of yours, but I think somebody already took care of it for me.
You know what?
Got him! Got him!
this is going to be a good night, gentlemen. It's going to be a good night here. You know something? Before you two go at it, we do need to make sure we make it a point to thank all the great viewers who tune in each and every week. We also want to thank the great sponsors, without who the Wrestle Talk podcast doesn't go on for 427 episodes or 247 episodes, as the Night Owl wants to talk about earlier on.
Hey, Roberts, I think you're going to like this. I think we got a new thing for the sponsors. You want to hear it?
Sure, why not?
All right, let's hear it.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
A little bit of
That's
Lord
what those
Alfred
stars
Hayes, I
do,
love it.
guys. The stars bring all those great little sound clips and extra added content. Royal Mills Transportation, Dewan Mills. You need a ride in Kansas City. Royal Mills Transportation is your transportation source. Rathbun Engraving, home of those great Wrestle Talk podcast mugs. Available for $20. Just check out the Wrestle Talk podcast for more info. Noble Men's Barber Lounge, Kansas City. Kincaid Arcade at the Oak Park Mall. Interstate 70 Sports Media. Little Popeye Designs. You've seen that Wrestle Talk podcast tumbler. They're in high demand. You need to make sure you get one of those. Check out WrestleTalkPodcast.com and, of course, the FWWC, the world's premier fantasy wrestling group. All great sponsors of the Wrestle Talk podcast. Gentlemen, I got to tell you right now, and Justin hit it right on point when we started the program tonight. There's a lot of great wrestling news to come around. But Night Owl, we've been talking about him recently, too. Just want to give a shout-out before we get too much farther along. Keep Nightmare Jones in your thoughts. Still recovering from.
By the way, we shared his GoFundMe on the Wrestle Talk podcast Facebook. So if you got a couple of nickels lying around, guys, please just log into that GoFundMe. $5, $50, $500. It all makes a difference. Joe has poured his heart out into the sport of professional wrestling and for his family. And my man needs a little help. So if you guys have the means to do so, please go over to the Wrestle Talk podcast Facebook page. The GoFundMe has been posted. And see what you guys can do to help change a man's life and help him take care of an incredible amount of medical bills. It's kind of insane.
That is true. And what is this, Night Owl? We're not even 15 minutes into the show yet, and the snitch can get through? The Dynamo Pro Heavyweight Champion can get through to here tonight?
Yep, and guess what? Everybody's favorite zebra, heel zebra himself, Christopher Miles in the house. By the way, I-70 Sports Media conglomerate expanding out into the world of professional wrestling as well. And so shout out to Chris Miles. And he's, I believe, now on his 3rd episode of his pro wrestling podcast. So make sure you guys take a moment and check them out over at I-70 Sports Media. They're doing big things over there.
Congratulations, man.
Tell them Wrestle Talk sends you guys. Tell them, please.
That is true, like I said. And
Not a heel. Yeah, right. You liar. We'll call it how it is here. Oh, by the way, last thing, we do want to do a moment of silence. We Skywalker, if you want to look that up, I think you have the names on hand. We're going to do a moment of silence because we have recently lost at least one person in the world of professional wrestling. But this goes out to anybody that's a part of the fam who has lost anybody in their life. So we're going to do just a quick moment. I think it's in the show breakdown. I thought there was 2 of them, but I do have Kenny J. Benotsky. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
I believe that is, I believe also known as the Sod Buster Kenny J.
Right.
Passing
Kenny
away
J.
this past week.
CAC
And
member. CAC
that is
member.
true.
Guys.
That is very much true, Night Owl. And like I said, we've got a lot to talk about here. And as a matter of fact as well, I believe that's the only one that we have to talk about this week.
We do.
Again, Kenny J, well known in the professional wrestling community, lost him this week. So at this point, before we go too much farther along, let's go ahead and, out of our respect to a member of our wrestling family, Sodbuster Kenny J passing away this past week.
And we do have a 10 bell. My mistake, not a moment of silence. Let's go ahead and hit that now.
You know, gentlemen, I mean, I've been around wrestling a long time, and it still, I mean, just makes me feel really goosebumps when you hear that 10 bell. I mean, the Kenny J was a great in-ring competitor, and again, another member of the wrestling community, gone far too soon. We're going to here at the Wrestle Talk Podcast, we want to extend our condolences to his family, and like I said, it's one of those, another wrestling member, family and brother gone too soon. Now, gentlemen, we do have a little more business to take care of here. And Night Owl,
the energy back up, baby.
We are going to get the energy picked up because you know something? You, my man, I'm going to level with you. We ain't got Nightmare Jones here. If we don't have Hardcore Hoss here tonight, this is a piece of business we take care of every week. And Night Owl, you're already prepared. You are on the ball tonight. I'm going to throw it to you because you know how we can take care of business and get this thing rocking. And you know what? Before we go there, we mention his name. And as you see it right here on the bottom of the screen, you mention his name, and all of a sudden he appears. Nightmare Jones is in the house tonight and the Wrestle Talk Podcast.
That's my man, Nightmare Jones, man. We're praying for you again, guys. The GoFundMe is up on the Facebook page right now. Go over and see what you guys can do to help out a man that has given his life to the thing that he loves, professional wrestling. And not to mention, awesome pick. If you guys can see, I don't know if you guys can make out Joe's profile pic. He's in a picture with Jay Briscoe, man. So that alone, man, that warrants you guys sending him a couple of bucks and helping him out because he's definitely always been there for us. If it wasn't for Joe, I wouldn't even be part of this show. So shout out to my man, Nightmare Jones. And apparently the Snitch is super duper excited to have Joe here, which is, you know, Snitch is usually complaining about something. So that's actually a rarity in its own.
We'll take it and run with that one, guys.
You got it. Oh, last quick thing. Facebook users, hit the blue link. Give the streaming service permission to show your name because we've still got a couple of Facebook users. So make sure you guys hit that link, guys, so that we can see your name. And who knows, maybe you'll be lucky and you'll take home a prize. That said, guys, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to ask everybody to respectfully remove their caps, place their hands over their hearts as we pay homage to the greatest country on God's green earth. And that's America, damn it. Jeez. That always fixes that song.
Shush, please.
Shush, please. Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, on that note, Skywalker, it is time to officially get into business. It is time to get into the high spot segment. We're going to queue up DJ Money in just a moment, but I did want to remind everybody that it is WrestleMania season. And you know what? I've been working my butt off, Skywalker, trying to give this gimmick away. You see this here? I've been trying to give this gimmick away. And to this point, we have not have somebody, because what we're asking is that you guys ask for the link, right? A link so you can actually join us on the show. We want somebody to actually join us on camera that's not a host. I see you eyeballing this thing, Jay Wade. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. Watching. All right, exactly. So it is a collectible, okay? So if you're willing to join us on the show and give us a hot take, you can either bring your own or you can talk about whatever subject that we're talking about, and you get to walk away with a Mankind lunchbox. We'll send it to you, shipping costs included. I mean, you really can't beat that, right, gentlemen? I'm eager to give this thing away, and folks just ain't paying attention. So if you got the gusto, join us, and you can walk away with a backpack. Come on,
you got the label right there. You mean this lunchbox?
Yes. Now, the difference is this one is still in the plastic. You see this? It's still got the plastic on.
Do you know, Night Owl, as a little bit of an exclusive before we go to high spots, here are some of the things you're going to get if you're the one to win that lunchbox.
What do you got?
You're going to get a Mankind pin.
Ooh.
You're going to get a Mankind lanyard complete with a Mankind figure.
Ah.
As you can see back here behind me, you're going to get your Mankind figure your Funko Pop.
Does it come with a Funko Pop inside?
Comes with a Funko Pop and
Sucko!
exactly where it is.
That's
Does it
freaking
also-
sick, bro.
Does it also come with part of his ear that he lost in Germany?
Wow.
I think
I
it would
wasn't
really
gonna
be
go there,
incentive.
but remember, if you want to share your thoughts here tonight on the Wrestle Talk podcast, you want to go on air and you want to share exactly what's going on, you might be able to get that wonderful Mankind lunchbox with all those great extra accoutrement, big word for the day, the accoutrement that you can get inside the Wrestle Talk podcast each and every week. And Jay Wade, again, I agree with Night Owl. I think you've been looking at that. You want to find a way to win one of those, and you want to be one to have one of those great Mankind lunchboxes.
Yeah, it's
But-
kind of getting kind of tired of bringing my lunch in a grocery plastic bag that I picked up from the store.
It's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. And for those guys that are out there that are not in long-term relationships like us, who knows? Maybe Noelle Foley's phone number is in the box too. So I'm just saying she is dating a clown. Let's be clear.
That is true.
All right, enough of the nonsense, guys. Let's go ahead and get into business. Are you boys ready for the high spot segment?
You got
Always
it.
ready.
You got it, Wade?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, brother.
Oh!
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
right now it's time for the high spot segment right here on the Wrestle Talk podcast. DJ Money, why don't you hit it?
Mic check, mic check. Yeah. All right. Wrestle Talk podcast. DJ Money. Yeah. Let's go. Welcome to High Spots, where we pop news like flare chops. We talk shop, coming through the screens of a laptop and non-stop like a running speakers of blacktop. We hit hard like chair shots and backdrops, like a clock flash, look like a barely fly. Now that's hard. We up to speed while they stay slow. Wrestle Talk podcast, now they know we about to start the show.
All right, gentlemen, let's dance.
All righty, guys. I'm going to tell you right now, we got a lot of cool things that are going to take place here tonight. And Night Owl, I'm going to tell you right now, I forgot to mention it before we went live on the air. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to say it now, but later on, before we get to our featured guest tonight, I'm going to have a little bit of breaking news for all the members of the Wrestle Talk podcast family. I'm going to have breaking news. It is signed, sealed, and delivered. And I'm going to be able to announce it right here tonight on the Wrestle Talk podcast.
I love to hear that. And thank you for trying to get yourself centered, Skywalker. It looks like you're still a couple inches to the right. Perfect. Well, oh my God. Look at how handsome you are live and in person. All right.
Let's go ahead and rock and roll with this, gentlemen.
Jay Wade. Okay. All right. So you do know that we have a new randomizer, right?
I hope it works. It's got to be
Okay.
good.
Last week was freaking hilarious. We kept getting the wrong drop. I went back and listened to the show, and apparently I was hearing got him, but the actual randomizer was actually working. The randomizer was actually working. So let's go and give it a try, guys. These are the downfalls and also the benefits of doing live radio here on the podcast, episode 427. We got it right now, finally. 427, not 247. Let's go and hit the randomizer and bring up the first question tonight. You up.
I like that.
All right, first question, gentlemen. Lita helped Becky Lynch win her cage match on Monday Night Raw last night. Do you see Lita competing in a match at WrestleMania? Jay Wade, you're on the left coast, the West Coast. What do you got for us, man?
The right coast. I just don't think so. I think she might do something with Becky Elimination Chamber, and that's it. Maybe. It just made me think of when Flair would join Charlotte. Accompanying her to the ring. I just believe it's just a one-off. I don't think it's anything special.
Nothing special, according to Jay Wade. Skywalker, do you think Lita has an impact on WrestleMania beyond what we saw last night against Bayley in the cage match? By the way, if you haven't seen Raw yet, we apologize in advance for the spoiler. Go ahead, Skywalker.
I got to tell you right now, I'm going to be a little bit different here than my broadcast colleague. I think it's a golden opportunity to not only get Lita back into the WrestleMania picture, but it also gives us a chance somehow or another to get Becky Lynch, Lita, and Damage Control all in one match. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to go ahead, and this is going to sound really off the trail here, but I'm going to throw it. Imagine this for a matchup. If healthy, because we saw Dakota Kai walking on crutches this past week, could we see Damage Control against what many would consider to be a dream team of Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus?
Ooh.
It seems like wherever you see Lita,
I like it, though.
Always see Trish.
Yeah, definitely when you see one, there's a great possibility for the other. And on that note, Joe, who is recovering, is also doing a little bit of inside research for us. It sounds like rumor is that Trish and Lita will be making an appearance on Raw next week. Jay, wait, does that change your mind in the least?
I think Bailey and God bless it, Becky Lynch, they're too big of names in my opinion. I don't think they should be thrown in this mix of a match. I think they need something, but they're better. Their characters and their athleticism, their star power, it's better than this. But maybe, they're working. They're the veterans now in the women's division, and they got to they got to sidestep for a moment to let the up and coming talent, get a shot. With Bianca being the heavyweight champion, and do they even have anyone picked for her to defend the belt yet against Mania?
Elimination Chamber is going to decide that, I believe.
Oh, okay, all right.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, my thought's simple. Where else can you go?
Very simple.
Whether it's Lita or Lita and Trish, you don't get the opportunity of elevating one. You finally get the opportunity to kind of reestablish Bailey as an upper echelon person you love to not like inside the squared circle, but it also gives you a chance to give people like Dakota Kai and Io Sky that opportunity to really be on the main stage with some of the legends in the world of professional wrestling. And I'm going to tell you right now, I agree with Justin. You've got Bailey, you've got Becky Lynch, two of the best in the wrestling industry today. But to me, I think you just got to give the fans a little bit more in order to make this match that much more capable, that much more WrestleMania quality. And again, completely off topic, but it's what's here. It's simple. I want to see Piper Niven going after some type of championship at WrestleMania.
She showed out last night, by the way. Go ahead, Jay Wade.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt anybody, but I do believe that, if this is the case with Trish being on Raw next week, have that 6-man elimination chamber and let, I believe Damage Control should take the win because it's going to give the up-and-comers tag team with Bailey the win. It's going to push that younger talent. So, and it won't hurt if Lita or Trish takes the loss because it'll still make Becky look strong. So.
Well, I only want to share these quick thoughts with you guys. If yesterday on Monday Night Raw was any indication of how Lita is going to look in the ring, and I don't mean her appearance because she's a very lovely lady. I mean her abilities in the ring. Honestly, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see a diminished Lita. Just like I didn't want to see Stone Cold unless I was going to get the Stone Cold that they gave me. Because Lita has kind of toyed around over the last couple of years with some activities in the ring. And to be sincere, she hasn't looked up to par. Her offense is all predicated on danger. And I really don't need to see a 50-year-old woman breaking her neck on live pay-per-view, on a pay-per-view live event. So if they want to be in the corner, if they want to be managers, that's fine. I just don't see what it adds to either the Legends legacy or, like Jay Wade said, these are the veterans of the roster. Do they need Lita and Trish to add some juice to them? I don't think so, bro. Becky's over. The four horsewomen are all over in their own way, excluding Sasha because she's no longer with the company. But if she was, they're all over, bro. They don't need Lita and Trish to help get their shit over. What is the point of adding them? As a matter of fact, if you add them to a match, I think it actually just takes something away. Or if you're just trying to cash in on nostalgia, just say so. Because neither side of the argument really needs this to happen, though it could be entertaining if the women come prepared to tango, like Beth Phoenix. Beth Phoenix looks like she could still go today as well as she went when she was in her prime. Am I wrong? So if you're not going to
right.
that edition, then I don't want to see it, because you're just gonna embarrass yourself, and the likelihood of somebody getting hurt, it goes up and up and up if you're not performing on a regular basis. But those are just the thoughts of the night out.
You're right about this night out, and you're right. And usually, I love when I see that you're wrong, but you're right on this.
It happens a lot.
And yes, but the whole nostalgia factor about Mania. Like, I'm kind of glad The Rock's not ring ready to face Roman. They don't need to be bringing back these. I loved them when they performed, but we don't need them. We need to give these guys a chance. Roman is capable of carrying this Mania, but that's, we're still on the topic of the ladies division, but the whole nostalgia thing, I think they're going back to the well too many times with the nostalgia factor.
Well, gentlemen, I'm going to tell you right now, first of all, this is why the Wrestle Talk podcast is the premier professional wrestling podcast on all platforms, all social media, because we have three completely different, respectful points of view. And that's a very uncommon thing in the world of podcasts today. But I'm going to tell you right now, when you sit down and look at it, I got to tell you, first of all four horsewomen, even Sasha Banks or Mercedes Moné, she's now moved on to New Japan. And I'm going to tell you right now, I could see her holding championship gold in New Japan. She's that good. She knows the style in Japan. I'm going to tell you right now, to me, I look at it that you're going to get the opportunity to see a lot of great women's action at the Elimination Chamber. You're going to see a lot of great women's wrestling at WrestleMania. And on a complete sidebar, I'm going to say this right now. And again, I'm still 2 months away. I still say that Sami Zayn has something to do with Roman Reigns losing the championship at WrestleMania. Personally, I think I would love it to no end if Sami Zayn was the one to take the belt from Roman Reigns.
Well, you know what? I would love to jump to that topic, but we have several more in the chamber for high spots. So we're going to actually let the randomizer make that decision for us. You guys who are out there, continue to comment.
Roberts, relax.
That's right. Take it easy, my friend. You got to take it easy. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic here on the high spots segment. Let's go ahead and cue up that randomizer, guys, and move on to the next one. And there it is. Who wants to take care of reading that off for us?
Cody Rhodes delivers another outstanding promo on Monday Night Raw. Have these promos made you more intrigued for WrestleMania? And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to start this off with you, Night Owl. You're the one that always talks about the promo. This is you. Has Cody Rhodes delivered to make you even more intrigued for Mania?
Well, I'm going to keep it simple like a teenage pimple, okay? It's going to pop off. And these Cody promos are only confirming in my mind what I already knew. There are a few people that are going to be capable to keep up with Roman Reigns on what I consider to be the key elements of being successful in the business at the highest level. You have to be entertaining, you have to be intriguing, and you have to be impeccable in the ring. And that's what these people are. The Roman Reigns of the world, the Cody Rhodes of the world. That is exactly what they are. They're highly entertaining. You want to hear from them to see what they've got coming up next. And their ability in the ring is unquestioned. It is a triangle of success that has been proven over and over and over again. From Hogan to Austin to Triple to Seth to Roman, these guys have the it factor. So what are these promos doing for me? They're just reconfirming in my mind something that I already knew, that it's going to be Cody Rhodes that gets that WrestleMania spotlight. Is he going to come through? Is he going to win the championship? We'll wait a little bit closer to WrestleMania to make our predictions. But there's no question in my mind that my level of intrigue has sustained itself at high and have only been confirmed further by what we've seen from Cody Rhodes, not just over the last couple of weeks, but in particular, guys, this week in that promo with Paul Heyman. It's been a while since I've seen anything that felt that personal in the world of professional wrestling. And there's no question in my mind that there was at least a little bit of what was said during that promo last night that was, as the kids say, a shoot. So absolutely, my level of intrigue is still at an all-time high. Those are the thoughts of the night out. What do you got, Jay Wade?
So my thoughts are a little scattered with the whole Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes thing. You know, we got the match with Sami Zayn in Elimination Chamber. The promo was great. You know, I don't know. I got mixed feelings about it because, you know, it's supposed to be Roman against Cody. I know Heyman is the mouthpiece for Roman, but Roman has been putting on some damn good promos himself. It makes me think of WrestleMania 31. Roman won Rumble 15 with the help of his family member, The Rock, and went on to face Brock at WrestleMania 31 the same night that Seth cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase. It's come full circle. He's evolved. He was the underdog going into WrestleMania 31. And for the last 3 Manias, coming this one, he is the dominator that Brock Lesnar once was. He still is, but they got him, you know, they don't got him in the heavyweight title picture anymore. But the promo with Heyman, not the first promo he made after the Rumble win, but this promo made me excited for Mania. It's just going to get better. I really wish there wasn't such a long time between Rumble and Mania. You got the Elimination Chamber. I don't know if Cody's going to wrestle at the Elimination Chamber. I think, you know, it'd be, you know, I don't, storyline wise, it'd be fair because if Roman's wrestling, you might as well have Cody wrestle as well. There's just a lot going on between now and Mania.
By the way, we might have 2 pay-per-views before Mania. It's something that I just thought about now. So over the last couple of years, we've been getting Fastlane before WrestleMania, right? Like 2 weeks before. So who knows? Jay Wade, to your point, we may get 2 before it's time for the happiest day of the pro wrestling year, which is WrestleMania. You know, what's this? What WrestleMania are we on now, guys?
39.
39. Wow. Right? Nuts. Okay, quick comment here, and I'm going to read it off. It's a little lengthy. It says, Cody is an element. He's got it. Believe it or not, that promo makes me think Paul will turn on Roman at Mania. Uh-oh, here come the wild predictions and conspiracy theories. It's never too soon.
There's some rumors that they're considering turning Roman.
I thought about that when I saw Paul come out by himself. Because that's what happened when he went from Brock to Roman. He started coming out and doing promos with Roman by himself. So who knows? But the rest of the message reads, Cody will win and help the Bloodline walk out. Sammy distraction and Paul turning on Reigns to help Cody win. Wow. Could you see that happening?
Hello, Mr. Carp.
Yo.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, gentlemen, here's my 2 cents. Number 1, I think last night that promo showed me one thing, and this is going to get me some flack. I think Cody Rhodes is now officially outshining Roman Reigns in the promo category. To be able to go step for step with Paul Heyman and do what he did last night, he delivered. I think the only thing right now, and this is going to be one, Night Owl, I know you're a Roman Reigns fan.
I'm just going to say they're comparable. I'm not saying he's outshining Roman. Because Roman yelling at Sammy and saying, you broke up my... Bro, that shit felt just as real as Cody telling Paul, oh, we only had $100 in the bank account, and my dad was doing car... Like, I don't know. To me, they're here, bro. There's not one that's like this, or maybe from week to week they're outdoing each other. But to say that he's outshining Roman, I mean, bro, Cody's been back for a cup of coffee. Roman's been doing this for 800 days. Let's temper our excitement a little bit, Skywalker, just a tid.
Here's the deal. If Cody Rhodes has the reps, Cody Rhodes is on another level. And I'll tell you right now, to me, the biggest wild card...
He said it! Sorry, Skywalker, he said that Roman Reigns is the best attraction and best wrestler. He said it. Cody said it. He said he's better than anybody, and that would include himself, right? Even Cody said it.
Jay Wade?
1990. A man by the name of Nature Boy Ric Flair,
Woo!
who was reigning supreme for how many years? 10 plus years, maybe?
At that point, maybe 15.
dropped it in the summer of 1990 to the man called Sting, who at the time I would say is in the same position that Cody's in. And, they both were putting on phenomenal promos against one another leading up into it. I know it's a different time frame, but Roman is the man. I would love to see him continue his reign. I'm not going to lie. I kind of like to see him break Bruno's record. I know that's a long ways to go, but if you think about it, not too long, because he's already at 8. And I think Bruno, I had the numbers at one point, but
I'm sure we can look that up for you, Jay Wade. We can look that up.
It just wouldn't it be interesting in our modern era, in our lives, we would see a modern day Bruno. And I'm not going to lie, I've watched some Bruno's matches and respect to Bruno, but Roman by far is a bit better.
They got to do it. Jay Wade, I think they got to do it. Let me tell you why. And if I'm interrupting you, just let me know.
You're not, my friend.
They got to do it. You know why? Because tonight or tomorrow night, there will be more viewership on a regular season NBA game than any other NBA game in NBA history. Do you know why? Because LeBron James is on the precipice of breaking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's scoring record that is in basketball an equivalent to Cal Ripken Jr. in baseball or Wayne Gretzky in hockey or whatever it is.
Hold
on. I just want to give a number.
Go ahead.
38,000. I think it's 384 is the magic number, or 348. My numbers might be jumbled. But again, a number, as you said, Night Owl, that's Cal Ripken-esque. That's Wayne Gretzky-esque.
Yep.
That is just an unreal.
So they got to do it. They got to do it because you're too damn close not to do it. And whatever show that happens on, whether it's a pay-per-view or a Monday Night Raw, and it's wrestling, so they could fudge the dates a little bit so it lands right on a pay-per-view or it lands right on a Monday, or you know how it is, bro. You know, play with the volume a little bit, in the background. But, bro, how could they not do it? That show will probably get a huge boost in ratings, and they've got to know that because you're seeing it right now. Who gives a shit about a team that's in 12th place or 13th place in the Western Conference and the Lakers, other than LeBron's getting ready to break a record, and it's LeBron James. So, not to belabor the point here, and I can't wait to get the CEO on to get his thoughts. But at this point, you almost got to do it, right? So what's the Bruno Sammartino record? Has anybody looked that up in the last couple of minutes?
I believe, and it's Justin's probably going to look that up real quick here.
Yeah, I'll look it up right now.
I'm going to take a small tangent here.
Go ahead.
Number one, I think now Roman's like 4th or 5th all time on the list. Where do you and again, I just throw this out there. It's a rhetorical question. Where do you put him in today's standards at Bruno-esque numbers? Bruno's reign is not going to be eclipsed. There is no way in today's professional wrestling world that happens.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you right now, do we start looking
10 years,
at,
bro?
well, we will look at it this way.
Yeah.
Do we look at it, him eclipsing Hogan's longest reign?
Oh,
Do we have him looking at the idea of possibly nearing a Backlund reign? I would say right now, if Roman could get to the point of a Hogan-esque reign, I think that it's very much you would need to put him in that picture. And I'm going to tell you right now, speaking of Hulk Hogan, another thing kind of pops in my head. Do we see another Rock Hogan from WrestleMania 18?
What do you mean by that?
The idea of the two generations. Do we see that time period where Hogan kind of has that last major hurrah?
Oh, bro, isn't there a rumor out there about Hulk Hogan just having like back surgery and it screwed up his legs?
Yeah, he's never coming back.
Bro. I don't want to see Hogan back in the ring. That's 10 years too
You're
late.
missing the point, Night Owl.
Okay, what do you mean?
It's the idea of where do we see Roman Reigns, to a certain degree, being in that Hulk Hogan position and getting ready to pass, in theory, the future of the company, the next phase of the WWE, to Cody Rhodes.
Bro, aren't they the same age?
Cody's 35, Roman's 37.
So no, in that. Oh, and I knew somebody was going to suggest this about Rock and Roman. That I don't want to see, bro.
No.
I don't want to see nobody that's a part timer. I'm excuse Cody because he's been hurt. I don't want to see nobody that's a part timer come and take the belt from Roman. I'll be honest with you. I stopped watching wrestling right when Stone Cold turned like heel and went with McMahon. Like that was it for me. If that shit happens, I'm out again. I'm going to be honest with you, because that's not how business is done. If Undertaker could come back and give it up and pay the business back the way he was supposed to, then I expect Roman and everybody else. You're not Undertaker. I love Roman, but he's not Undertaker either. So if Undertaker did it, then what the is your excuse? Ric Flair did it. Austin did it to Rock. Everybody did it. And the only reason I'm going to exempt Rock is because he's done so much more for wrestling by not being in wrestling, by becoming the biggest movie star in the world. Bro, that shit added legitimacy to John Cena, everybody else down the line. So as much as I love The Rock, I think he's a tremendous performer, probably top 5 all time. It can't be him that takes it from Roman. Now, if they do an old versus new for the control of the family, okay, but don't be the one that knocks the belt off Roman. That would be stupid to me, because this guy has literally been working his ass off for 800 straight days, and we're and on the road and doing all this shit. And you know, The Rock hasn't wrestled a significant match in 10 years.
So to break Bruno's first record, that's at 2,800 days total. He might be able to break his second record of 1,237 days. He might be closer to that than
another year.
Well,
yeah.
The question is, if you look at the list, do you have the information of where Hogan was?
Hogan, yeah.
Hogan was, I think,
look that up. Also, I want to know, was Bruno defending like every week, every other week, every month, every 3 months, every 6 months, every 12 months? Because if you're defending every 6 to 12 months, yeah, bro, I could defend the belt for 10 years if you're only going to make me defend it 20 times in 10 years. I mean, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I know they weren't handing out title matches like that all the time back in the day. I know that shit like, you won the lottery. Here's a title shot. You know, like, bro, they're putting Logan Paul in the Royal Rumble now. So, I mean, they're just handing shit out. I know they weren't doing that back in the day. You know what I mean? Because by all dead to rights, Sammy should not be getting a title shot right now. But he is.
Hogan has the second longest reign at 1,474 days, from 84 to 88. Bruno he's in third place. Bob Backlund is in third place with 1,470 days, and then Bruno again at 1,237 days. So,
I think if we, to be honest with you, gentlemen, I think if we start seeing, and I'm going to use, and this is going to be out there, I'm going to use the Surge factor. Surge talked about for Dynamo Pro 1,000 days to cement his legacy as the greatest Dynamo Pro champion. I'm going to tell you right now, if we could see Roman Reigns, I mean, even right now, you got to consider Roman Reigns in that category with 800 plus days.
Did you just bring up Adrian? Come on, bro. Everybody knows, and maybe I'm just being personally biased, that the greatest Dynamo Pro champion of all time is. Oh, wait. There. That he's got to be in there. But come on, man. Jake Durden, Mike Outlaw, Ricky Cruz. Come on, bro.
Well, I can tell you right now, man, we still got a lot more to talk about. You know what, guys? I know we've got the Snippets of Truth. I know we got Big Daddy P joining us here in a couple minutes.
We do.
You know what, Nido? Before we
get comment, we're going to address it, right?
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead. Wow.
All right, just agree or disagree with Sonny. Agree or disagree with Sonny. Let's do it by thumbs because we got to get the CEO on. You're right. You agree or disagree with Sonny? Wow. Jay Wade?
Hold on, let me get. I'm kind of on the fence.
No midsies,
okay,
bro.
I'm going to say I'm disappointed in his whole return. I think it's the same as Bray's. I'm not excited.
Give us the thumb.
Hold
you
on.
Agree or disagree with Sonny?
Make a change here.
Oh, I agree with Sonny.
You agree with Sonny?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it this way. The first part, no, disagree with him. The return, I disagree with. I agree with him.
Okay, right. I don't think Cody sucks. The return sucked.
I thought the Rumble was fantastic. I thought it was very entertaining compared to the last 5 years with the Rumbles.
And by the way, we got Gunther, and that made it all worth it.
I really wish we had a high spot on Gunther at the moment because I have a lot to say.
We can talk about that with Dewan because we're going to keep high spots going. It's all good.
All right, fantastic.
Well, by the way, Jay Wade, if you want to have if you want to hear a great Gunther discussion, bro, I was on my Gunther BS last week, bro. I would not stop it last week on the show. Just ask Rodell. I was driving him crazy because I kept going, Gunther, bro. Bro, that man stole the show, and I could talk about Gunther for another hour. But on that note, guys, let's bring in, we're going to talk a little bit of fantasy wrestling, but we're going to keep the high spots topic going with our boy, the CEO. Go ahead, Roberts.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to have the CEO, and I know he's going to have a lot to say about Cody Rhodes. He's going to have a lot to say about professional wrestling as a whole.
And we got to put up
Before
our
we get
next
too
topic.
much farther along, I want to throw this one out here. If you'd be so kind to go ahead, I think it's time before we bring in the CEO and keep all these high things happening, these high spots going on. Let's go ahead and bring forth that high spots. Let's go ahead and bring forth that breaking news. Let's bring it forth right here, right now.
All right, baby. Give me just a second. I think we can look it up. Go ahead and hit that cue up, boys. Breaking news.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the Wrestle Talk Podcast, as you're well aware, the Wrestle Talk Podcast brings you the best in professional wrestling on the local, national, and international levels. And it is indeed my sincere honor and privilege to announce that in 2 weeks, right here on the Wrestle Talk Podcast, we have signed, sealed, and delivered. As you've noticed behind me, I have many professional wrestling masks to pay tribute to those who have competed inside the squared circle. And I will tell you right now, on Tuesday night, February 21st, our special guest, one of many that we will be announcing in the next few weeks, is the man right here who adorned this mask, the one, the only, the legend of the Pacific Northwest, the Pacific Northwest legend, the legend of Texas, the one, the only, the Grappler, will be joining us here on the Wrestle Talk Podcast for an exclusive interview. Gentlemen, we've got plenty of interviews coming up in the next couple months. This is the first of many. The Grappler joins the Wrestle Talk Podcast on February 21st.
I would love to have that book if it made it to me.
I know. And again, I don't know what's
Amazon?
happened with that, but
Amazon?
that's true. Like I said, we're taking care of it, but I'm going to
I
tell
was
you
told.
That's right. You're right.
He was supposed to be en route. So,
And I get alerts on Mr. Apple here.
Mine just came in. Mine just came in for the record. It's taking a little bit longer, Jay Wade. Mine just came in. But I just wanted to mention that I'm getting ready to crack this thing open, and I'll be very, very prepared for when this interview rolls around.
Yeah.
Jay Wade, we'll talk about it, bro. If it
I can get on. I can find stuff. I can find stuff on him prior to the show. I'd love to be involved with this interview. So,
well, guys, as you can see right here, and you can get an opportunity to buy that book online, Amazon.com. Also, to give you an idea, we're going to be here, and you notice right here, I not only have my copy from the CAC, but this is one right here, actually personally autographed to yours truly. And I can let this one go here too. A little bit of extra news. I know a lot of people already know it. He's going to be at the SICW Fan Fest here in St. Louis on May 13th. So you get an opportunity, those in the Midwest can come check out the Grappler as a part of the Fan Fest.
Mr. Roberts, I do believe when we do this interview, I think you should attempt to fit that bulbous head of yours into that mask and wear it as we interview the Grappler.
Wow. I'm gonna tell you right now. And Herb Simmons,
that big ass thing. I don't think so.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna say it honestly. I would be doing a grave injustice to the reputation.
Hell yeah, I agree. A disgrace.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, as you brought it up there earlier, Herb Simmons, SICW, May 13th, Aviator Hotel. Make it a point to check that out. And as we see right now, it's going to be a great night. Now, gentlemen,
I don't think we're done with names yet either. I think that this is just the start.
Oh no,
there's room on that poster for more. But you know what, guys? We could keep going with the back and forth all day long, but we would be doing a disservice if we did not allow our next guest to join us and participate in this. Ladies and gentlemen, the CEO of the world's premier fantasy wrestling promotion, not your daddy's E-Fed, amigos, the CEO, DeJuan Mills. What up, Mills? What up, babe? What's going on, baby?
They're not there anymore. I can't do it anymore. Oh my God.
Wow, bro. Hey, welcome to the show. I believe we have a drop for you.
Never drew a dime. Not a dime.
Guys?
Not a dime.
Oh, sorry. Had to do it. You look wonderful. We missed
What's
you.
up?
And thank you for being patient to come on the show. We're running a little bit after today. You know how it goes. But listen, we've got a lot of great conversation here going. I know you want to touch on the FWWC here in just a moment. But it is time to hit the randomizer again. So we're going to hit it, and we'll let you go first, Mr. Mills. Is that okay?
Hey, okay, baby. What's poppin'?
All right, boys in the back, you know what to do. Go ahead and cue up that randomizer for the next High Spots topic. Oh, here we go. Oh, a great question.
Oh, Jesus.
So,
Woo!
long-time fan, you can read the question for yourself, man. Give us your thoughts there. Great. Whoever brought this question is very, very good, by the way. I like it.
High Spots. Where does the Bloodline storyline rank in the history of the business? Oh, Jesus. Are we talking about the whole history of professional wrestling?
Take it however you want it.
Oh, don't make me do that. I have to give it a top. You put me on the damn spot. I hate to say it, bro. I got to give it a top 20. If we're talking about the complete, we kind of got to break this down, dog. If we're talking about the complete total history of professional wrestling, it's definitely in the top 20. I wouldn't necessarily put it in the top 10. Now, if we're referring to the modern era, you know, the lately, what have you done for me lately? At the whole song.
Okay. Can I rephrase the question? Can I say
yes.
During your fanhood, which spans how long? About 20, 25 years?
About 20, 25, yes.
Okay, let's use that as a parameter. Jay Wade, you submitted this question. Is that fair?
Yes.
Put some parameters on this thing. There you go.
That's fine, yeah.
Definitely in my top 10. I would put it at a 7, a strong ass 7. Just because the Bloodline story isn't quite as long as Roman's title reign, if you know what I mean. So it went for like what? It kind of started with Jay, and that whole thing was kind of weird. The whole him versus Jay deal, and Jay trying to be a face, and him smiling in the Hell in a Cell ring. You know, it was kind of weird. But then it kind
of poor guy froze with excitement.
had to put it at maybe a top.
Okay, Mr. Mills, it looks like we're having a little bit of a sketchy connection here. Give you an opportunity to kind of get that buttoned up. Jay Wade, you brought this question to the table. Why don't you go ahead and give us an answer, man? I got to hear what you think.
I think this storyline is as important as Austin versus McMahon. I really do believe that. It's pumped new life into the WWE, in my opinion. It's made me interested again with when the pay-per-views are coming up. You know, the ending of the Rumble was, I didn't know it was going to be that spectacular. You just did the drama involved with the storytelling. It was just seeing the heartbreak of, because everybody didn't want to see Sammy leave the Bloodline. You know, they wanted that to continue. I really wish, you know, they took it to another couple shows before that happened, but for some reason they like to speed things up at times. I think it ranks up there. The Bloodline rank up there with the NWO. That's what I really do believe.
Skywalker?
Oh, ooh.
I'm gonna throw it right now, and I've got a long lineage in professional wrestling. Without Sami Zayn, it doesn't even crack my top 10.
But you can't separate him from the story, right? If not, the story doesn't happen, right?
Mm-mm.
Take it as a whole.
I don't
take
separate
it as a whole.
Story, but take it as a whole.
Yeah,
I'd say 10, and that's, to me, I think it's being a little bit generous because there's a lot of things that weighed into this whole storyline that don't necessarily have a, how you say, it's hard to say it. I think it's one of those where there are outside factors that make this particular situation that much more intriguing. But I think right now you have to have every piece of the puzzle we have now for it even to crack my top 10.
Wow. Okay. Well, back to you, Mr. Mills. I know that it's a tough topic because you're kind of getting put on the spot, but I think it's a fair one because we have to look at things in the moment and then we have to look at them in the grander scheme. And I know that's something that you always have the forefront of your mind when you're doing your thing as a promoter and booking shows in the FWC. Now, when we say not your daddy's E-Fed, we say that for a reason, because the level of commitment that you expect from your FWWC superstars is next level, right? The commitment is almost as if it was a real promotion, because it is everything except the wrestling, which sounds a little goofy. You're like, well, what's wrestling without the wrestling? But we all know there's backstage politics. There's, you have to be able to be a professional and do all the things that need to be taken care of. So I'll ask you this question, and I'll kind of tie two things together. So number one, when it comes to how this whole thing plays out, because we are talking about the bloodline, Sammy, Roman, Cody, maybe some unknown factor. What ideal situation would you put together to put a perfect bow tie on this thing at WrestleMania? How would it play out from a booker's perspective?
Good Lord. Now you really put me on the spot, because here's the whole thing about it. We kind of already knew that Cody was going to win the Royal Rumble, therefore putting him in position to go against Roman at WrestleMania. However, with this Sammy turn, my whole thing is, what's the payoff with Roman versus Sammy at Elimination Chamber? Like, literally, what's the payoff? Like, seriously, I don't think there's a payoff at all between those guys. And the reason why I say that is because we know Roman is going to hold on to the title until WrestleMania. So that's my whole thing. Like, why put something together that isn't necessarily going to end the way that we think it's going to end? You dig what I'm saying? Like, Sammy's going to get his ass kicked, just like Owens got his ass kicked. So why even kind of waste the time to even put energy on that? That's been my whole thing. Like, this has been a whole entire Roman beating everybody's ass genre for the past 3 years. We get that. What is going to be the ultimate end goal? Who's going to be significant enough to take the belt off of Roman? Therefore, once Roman loses that title, how does he remain relevant? You dig what I'm saying? And I mean, I don't mean to get far into it, but you put these belts on these guys, you put these belts on these workers, and some of them are deserving. But once they lose that title, how do we keep them relevant? How do they keep Stone Cold relevant without a title? How do they keep The Rock relevant without a title? How do they keep Triple H relevant without a title? Some would say they bounce back and forth, back and forth. They had the same kind of feuds. So if you take this belt off of Roman, put it on Cody, then what? That's what I'm thinking. Down the line. Then what? You know what I'm saying?
Same thing happened to Dean Ambrose. I know I'm asking everybody to look back quite a bit. Man, there was this great build to him becoming a champion, becomes champion, flat. A lot of people are hoping that Sammy ends up in that position. So you've already got you've already got the Daniel Bryan effect going with Sami Zayn. So this is going to put Cody in a weird spot if he ends up winning the belt. Jay Wade?
I truly believe the one that I think could have a fantastic program with Roman was the one who was a brother of Roman's back when they all came in together, Mr. Seth Rollins. I truly believe he knows how to turn those, he knows how to crank that voltage up when it comes to getting into Roman's head. If you guys remember last year's Rumble, he showed up in the Shield attire. He didn't lose the match. He won by DQ. So I have a feeling that, I don't know, I just don't see Cody and Sammy as title holders that hold their interest. Yeah, it's always interesting. Like when I loved it when Austin was chasing the title, but once he got the title, I didn't feel like he had good feuds with the belt. I really don't,
Okay.
Go ahead, sir.
So let's ask the hard question. And I know we got to get to other stuff. Besides Roman, you have built this man up for the past 3 going on 4 years. Who is the next face of WWE? Period. Who? Who's the next face? Who's the next person that can carry the company? Who's the next person that can be a complete draw? Because he's going to probably have to be a babyface. We've had a heel guy for the longest. Who is the next individual, and anybody can answer, that is going to carry WWE? Look who you got. Who do we put the belt on? Who?
Okay, here's how I look at it. And you nailed it right on the point, CEO. Cody Rhodes, and I'm going to say it, into Sami Zayn.
Yeah, the only way this ends well is Roman gets hurt, Sammy goes over, and he gets a nice little run and eventually loses it to Kevin or something. I don't know. But what I'm telling you right now is Cody Rhodes is going to get booed if he wins the title at WrestleMania because people rather see it on Sammy. If it's not Roman, it's gotta be Sammy, bro.
Can we record this? Can we? So for the future, like we need this. We need to have this part saved. Like when that happens, this clip needs to play. Cody Rhodes is going to get booed. So on WrestleMania, when that happens, I want to play that clip over the Night Owl just said.
You know what's great? You know what's great? There's a secret place called the WrestleTalkPodcast.com. You can go back and watch this anytime you want.
There you go. Awesome. We're going to watch the WrestleMania.
Kind of awesome. Skywalker, you made a great point. And Jay Wade, I got to say, you guys are both on point when it comes to this deal because ultimately what we've seen is historic. And as far as I'm concerned, if they don't end this the right way, it's going to turn certain people. You heard me earlier. If a part-timer shows up and takes the belt for Roman, say nothing comes of this whole thing, Roman walks out of WrestleMania as a champion, and they have some part-timer show up to take the belt away from him, I'm going to stop watching for a while. So they better figure this shit out because I'm too invested in this mess for them to let me down. And I'm going to reference back to 20 years ago when they turned Austin heel, when he joined Vince. I was done with that shit. I was like, you know what? Y'all don't had my attention for the last time, bro. And it took about 20 years and a good friend of mine named Sonny and another good friend of mine named Dewan to really suck me back into the shit. Because honestly, it irritated me so much that, you know, again, I was a kid. I'm not a booker. But at some point, there's got to be a payoff. And for you to take it away from somebody who's been putting in all the work for 800, 900,000 days to a partner,
now, hold on.
I'm not going to deal with it. I'm just not.
Since we're on the subject, and God, I know we don't have a lot of time. So a lot of people did hate the Austin heel turn. However, did you enjoy the Austin guitar heel? That wasn't funny to you.
All that shit with Kurt Angle was whacked at me, bro.
There's some
what are you talking about?
There's some guys I don't like seeing doing comedy.
No goofy
wrestling.
shit, bro.
I didn't like when they put a wig on Goldberg and he did a little shtick with Goldust in 2003. I hate that. You don't build these guys up. You keep. I did not like that. No,
I don't like Taker and comedy shit either, personally.
No, keep Austin as a badass, destroying people. So
okay. Super traditional. Let's get it.
Well, come on, bro. These guys, you build these guys up for 20 years and you turn them to clowns, bro.
I love comedy and wrestling. It's just certain people, it fits better. So
gotcha. Okay. I'll take that.
So on a quick bit of business before Big Daddy P joins us here, Dewan. So the FWWC Royal Rumble Fallout and news pertaining to season 11, because let me tell you something, my emails, my DMs have been blowing up. I've got FED superstars. I got main roster superstars. Night Owl, Dewan telling us shit. So please let me know when we're going to start. We're ready for matches. People are eager to see, you know, the champions back out doing their thing because it's been a little bit. So what can you share with the members of the Wrestle Talk family concerning FWWC and season 11?
So really, really quick, if you go back on my live and check out, you will see that season 11 of the FWWC will officially start on Saturday, February 18th at FWWC Elimination Chamber. Now, do we have a card book? Hell no. Do I ever have a card book the same week? Hell no, I don't. Or a week in advance? I don't. Okay? Give your boy a chance. But season 11 will officially start that Saturday, February the 18th at FWC Elimination Chamber. However, on Monday, ladies and gentlemen, Monday, February the 13th, we will have a FED exclusive only card that evening involving FED superstars only. If somebody has a card, please pull it up because I do not know it from memory because I didn't create the card. Our administrators and heads over the FED, that is Hardcore Hoss and his partner in crime, Oni, have now created these cards. They're going to make the posters. They are pretty much overseeing everything FED related. So if we don't have that card available, we will make sure that we will get that information out to everybody here in the FEWWC immediately. Do we got it? All right. Hell yeah. Let's rock. So Monday, February the 13th, the FED kickoff. Killer Thorn, who's been on fire these past couple months, man, who's been kicking ass and taking names, especially at FWC Royal Rumble, will be taking on James Maverick, and we will have Daniel Grimm going against Jinx. Those are the two matches that will be on display Monday, February 13th for our FED kickoff. That's Saturday, February 18th. Season 11 begins. WWC Elimination Chamber. Don't ask me about a damn card yet because the shit ain't made. And here's the thing. Hold on. Did I not say in somewhere that we're not doing nothing till after the Super Bowl? Like, y'all stressing me the hell out, man. We with Super Bowl, baby. Oh, Chiefs. Chris wrote down. Do you hear me? Chiefs.
Shots fired!
That's where we at. So yeah, y'all lucky y'all got that much out of me in the night off, because damn it, it's Super Bowl week. The Chiefs is going crazy. I gotta watch the game with my damn kids. It's gonna be cracking. That's what I got.
All right, Dewan. Well, thank you for joining us, man. Really appreciate your time. Sorry we ran a little bit over. We're having a lively conversation, man. I love hosting with these guys. We will catch you this Thursday on the FWWC tonight or Friday.
Yes, you will, sir. I'll be Thursday. Oh, we have Wrestler Court. We'll drop more details about that. Somebody else is going on the stand, baby. You got to tune in Thursday to find out.
Do we know yet?
Do we want to give it up? Do we want to say?
I think so. I think it's okay to share it. Yeah.
Oh, Lord. This Thursday, Moby Lee, our host of FWC Royal Rumble, will go on the stand in Wrestler Court.
Oh,
go crazy.
Nice. Hey, didn't Big E from WWE just finish putting him over?
I think he did. Yes.
Yeah, he did. He did. Hey, love you, Dewan. Take care of yourself, bro.
We out you. Later.
Royal Mills Transportation, y'all. All right. Skywalker, what do you think, man? Does Dewan and his group of, his FWWC folk, do they always bring the energy up in the room or what, man?
I can tell you right now, Dewan brings it up to a completely different level. And you know something? That's what makes the Wrestle Talk podcast such a great podcast. Is not only do you have great wrestling talk with wonderful personalities like ourselves, but you have people like the CEO, Dewan Mills. And, of course, something Night Owl, you also get somebody who takes Dewan's level, and if you can ever kick it up another notch, you know he's here, you know he's around, you know he's always around. And I'm going to tell you right now, I think he's in the house. Am I right, Night Owl?
Who's in the house?
You know who's in the house.
No. I just shot you a quick message there.
Oh.
So I hate to break this news to you guys, but unfortunately this week, due to some unforeseen circumstances, Big Daddy P is not going to be joining us for Snippets of Truth. But don't worry, it's okay. He should be back next week. So keep those prayer requests coming, guys. We're going to go ahead and just kind of hold them on standby for Big Daddy P, because nobody can do what Big Daddy P does like Big Daddy P does it. So just know that I would appreciate it if you guys would send Big Daddy P a message and be like, yo, Big Daddy P, saw you weren't on the show, man. Can't wait to hear you next week. Okay? If you guys could do that, it would mean a lot. I know that he loves you guys and that these segments mean the world to him. So trust me, if it wasn't something important, Big Daddy P would not have missed this evening show. But you know what, guys? When one door closes, another one opens. That's what Big Daddy P always says. So I think we could keep it going, Skywalker. What do you say?
Well, you know what, Night Owl?
What up?
We're going to have the Illmatic Angel in just a moment.
We are.
You know one way to kick it up? And
What's
we
up?
haven't done this in a while. I don't think the three of us have ever done this together. I think it's time for a little thing we call the shoot and shout.
Ooh, I'm ready for it,
We've
baby.
already had some shots fired here tonight. Let's go ahead. Let's kick it back up another notch. Let's go ahead and hit that shoot and shout music, because I know that Justin's got some things on his mind. I know you got a lot of positive Chiefs energy, and I've got enough to make you realize the Chiefs are not going to win the Super Bowl. So go ahead and hit the music for the shoot and shout segment.
It's just one of those days when you don't want to wake up. Everything is fun, everybody sucks. You don't really know why, but you want to justify ripping someone's head off. No human contact, and if you interact, your life is on contract. Your best bet's to stay away. It's just one of those days.
One of those days.
It's all about the he says, she says.
All right, who wants to go first? I got a good one, but I don't have to go first.
I got it. I'm going to throw it out here right now. Everybody knows it's tax season. I know it's a bad thing to say, but it's tax season. But I'm just going to tell you flat out, if you're a company that prides itself on doing taxes, here's the thought: return messages. I've been waiting for 4 days to hear a message back. And it's not, oh, they're done or whatnot. That's just to schedule an appointment. I'm going to tell you right now, when it comes down to it, let us have the opportunity. We all know we have to take care of our responsibility as United States citizens to be able to go ahead and pay our fair share of taxes every year. We have to make sure we take care of things. Make sure that you have the opportunity to let us take care of it. I mean, again, it's all there. It's all ready to go. And I do want to give a special shout out to, again, besides Big Daddy P, I want to give a shout out to our good friend, Nightmare Jones. And also, I know I've been kind of talking a little bit of trash tonight, but I do got to give a shout out to that great football team over on the west coast of the state of Missouri, the Kansas City Chiefs. They managed to make it back to the Super Bowl again. And I got to say, I got to give you props, Night Owl. You and Sonny Money have been really supporting your team. They've done a great job this season. Too bad it all comes to an end without the Lombardi Trophy this Sunday.
So disrespectful. So disrespectful. Jay Wade, please talk some sense back into this man, please.
Rob, you're a Karen tonight with your whole IRS talk. And from my understanding is, from my understanding is, if you don't owe anything, you don't have to file, right? No, I'm kidding. Please, I hope no IRS agent is watching this. Anyways,
pretty safe bet.
I'm going to be the opposite of bitching. I just came back from the Midwest, and I had some fun. I had some snaggles too, but I'm not going to get into that. I'm the opposite of bitching tonight. I want to just thank everyone that we brought our French Bulldog with us, and everyone that saw him, instead of just taking the initiative and being rude and going to attempt to pet him, they always asked, and I appreciate that, because it's better for them instead of me going, "What are you doing? Don't touch my dog." Because I'm known for being kind of standoffish at times. Roberts can clarify that if I feel like someone's being stupid around me. So no, I'm the opposite this week. Everything's going good. Besides the rain here in Seattle, it's just, I'm ready for some sun. So that's my
shooting shout
grind
for the night. What's that? You shooting shout for the night? You're muted, Skywalker. That should be my shooting shout. The amount of times a Skywalker runs his mouth with his microphone muted. That should be my
whoa. You're gonna go there, but you can't remember to put 427 on your board?
That wasn't me. My son did this, bro. He's dyslexic, bro. What's wrong with you? Now you're making fun of handicapped kids.
Son.
That's real funny, man.
Blaming
Be
your son.
proud
Come
of yourself.
on.
It was all me. My bad. Okay, so man, you guys pissed me off, man. You got one job. Jay Wade, with that face, you have like a male Karen face, and then instead of bitching, which is about your whole gimmick, you go the nice route. You're a sucker for dogs. Just admit it. You love your dog.
I love my French
That's
Bulldog.
fine, but this is shoot and shout. Did you read the card? You're the heel, man. Come on.
I'm the bad guy. I give Rob shit. Look, he looks like that guy from South Park, the internet troll guy at the computer. You remember
he
that
looks like
episode?
Terrence from Terrence and Phillip too.
He's like, So, I can only be mean to so much until, I gotta watch my health. The good man upstairs, I don't want him messing with my ticker. I'm a big man, so.
All right.
Yeah.
I hear that. You can keep the blood pressure down. Okay.
You know what?
Well, I'm going to do both of your guys' job for you, okay? Because I got a 2-part shoot and shout, and it'll be quick and it'll be swift. Number one, I'm mad at wrestling. I'm legitimately mad at wrestling. Skywalker, don't you give me that damn face. I sat here quietly and listened to your nonsense, so don't you give me that damn face, okay? I am mad at wrestling. You know why, guys? Because it's so freaking hard to prepare for this show because there's so much amazing wrestling that if I don't freaking watch it, I almost feel guilty. From some of the independent promotions that I support, like SICW, XWE, Dynamo Pro, Borracho Pro, that we're going to be talking about here in just a couple of minutes, or
I'm pretty excited about that.
Or Borracho Pro for the Paisas. All right. There's so MJPW. Jay Wade just opened up a dojo in LA.
Yeah,
So now I gotta
said
watch that shit. And NWA is still going. And some of my some people that we've done business with that I would even consider friends work or have worked for. I mean, there's so much good wrestling that a 2-hour podcast doesn't even do it justice. And that's what aggravates me, that I don't have enough hours in the day to keep up with all the dope ass shit from AAA to MLW to you know the indie promotions that I mentioned and many, many more, to the E to AEW. I mean, and you know, it's just it's mind-boggling how much great wrestling there is. And at this point, if you can't find something to enjoy, you're just an asshole. I'm gonna just be honest. There's so much great wrestling, and I feel guilty when someone's like, "Yo, bro, Night Owl, you check out that new NXT." I'm like, "Not yet." Yo, Night Owl, I'm like, "Bro, I got Raw, SmackDown that I gotta watch by law, and I gotta watch AEW now almost by law to even be able to do this show and sound like I know what the hell I'm talking about if I'm just not reading dirt sheets." So, as grateful as I am and as appreciative as I am, it also stresses me out because I'm a father. You know, I'm a businessman. I'm a couple other things besides just being a podcast host. So it frustrates me to not be able to keep up with as much great wrestling as there is. And that's my shoot and shout. It pisses me off because I wish I could just sit around all day and get fatter and fatter like Big Pun, you dig me? And just watch wrestling all day. But, you know, I got to get outside the house. I got to go, do business and do things like that. But it's quite frustrating because, to be honest with you guys, there isn't enough time in the day to watch all the fantastic different versions of professional wrestling. I don't know if you guys saw John Moxley recently with the appearance that he made. I don't know if that was Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. Help me out here, Skywalker. He cut a super dope promo for them. Was it Revolver? Was it Guerrilla? I can't even keep them straight now.
PWG.
Yeah, okay, yeah, PWG, right? So, dude, I want to watch that shit too. But do I have enough time to watch it all? Nah, man. So I gotta resort to the dirt sheet sometimes because I have no choice. But I really do wish that I had more hours in the day to be able to consume all the amazing, incredible production value and talent in the ring and all the dope promos and all sick shit that goes on all over the place, man. Because quite frankly, we're in another golden era, gentlemen, and I don't even think we realize it.
Well, that's
how great wrestling is right now.
I'm gonna stop you right here for just a second. First of all, can you pull up? I know you mentioned it a few minutes ago, but can we pull up Jim Harris's comment here from just a minute ago?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Amen. All the stuff we've seen and watched, not enough time in a day to cover it all. And I'm going to tell you right now, I know that we've been kind of joking on each other and things online. We've taken some jabs, and again, everything has been done in good fun. There wasn't anything inappropriate or anything of the sort. But I got to tell you this right now, Night Owl. That was, and this is me telling it how it is. Can we give the Night Owl a standing ovation for that shoot?
Not a chance. Oh,
come on, man!
Give him a standing O. Can we?
I think we can, but I think we got something even better up on the soundboard. You guys want to hear it?
Let's see.
You ready?
Very, very impressive.
Hey, Corey Grace thinks I'm very, very impressive. That's good enough for me. I'll take it.
That's true. And like I said, that was a very profound statement. It's one of those
things. We need a Gorilla Monsoon miscarriage of justice.
That is,
you need to send me that, bro. Send me the drop and we'll get it loaded, Jay Wade. You know,
okay.
Plus, you need some intro music too, bro. We got to get some Jay Wade.
I want to use that intro music, that music you used for my clip a couple weeks ago. Can we use that?
Oh, the Sting song?
Yeah, can we use that, or is that?
If we can find a non-copyrighted version, you know what I'm saying? Holla at
you get me in contact with that person, I can make sure there's no copyright issues.
Yeah, no royalties, no copyright. Guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, there've been a lot of people asking. We've taken care of shoot and shout, and again, guys, I got to say, I love being here every week. We give each other a hard time.
Yep,
but it's nothing but love. It's nothing but respect when it comes to the world of professional wrestling. I got to tell you right now, Night Owl, you have been chomping at the bit for days. I almost want to say for weeks about this interview. And I know you have been practicing real hard. You've been getting everything taken care of. And I think if anybody of the Wrestle Talk podcast could do this introduction justice and welcome this man into our very large extended family here on the Wrestle Talk podcast, you're the one to do it. So let's go ahead and get our featured guest here tonight on the Wrestle Talk podcast. Take it away, Night Owl.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. You heard me mention it earlier on the show. nothing excites me more than to interview somebody that's like a man or a woman after my own heart. Somebody who I'm like, oh, I see a little bit of their energy and I can kind of see my energy in them a little bit. A guy who went from sitting in the stands being the loudest dude there, bringing all the vibes that was, and he made a decision. He's like, you know what, man, I'm about to put my money where my money where my mouth is, and I'm about to make this thing happen. And just this past weekend, our boy Illmatic Angel decided to kick off, him and his partners and all the incredible workers and the fans that were there over at Borracho Pro. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, the featured guest of the evening, everybody's favorite New York Rican. You heard me? Don't you ever disrespect me and make it sound like you never heard about Illmatic Angel, y'all. Make some noise! Let's go!
Yo, man.
We got some música for you. Wait.
I like that hat, man. Love that hat.
Let it slide. Hey.
Ah, man.
Listo. Hey, Angel.
Yeah.
Only you and me are going to understand this. But when I hear songs like that, bro, estoy listo para perrear. You know what I mean? I'm ready.
That's solid. You already know,
listo
man.
Listo para perrear, bro. Welcome to the show, man. Very first appearance on a Wrestle Talk podcast, man. Thank you for gracing us with a little bit of your time, bro.
Yeah, man, thank you.
Let's get into it. We got Jay Wade up in Seattle, my man Skywalker in the Lou, St. Louis, baby, home of Nelly, and there used to be a football team there. Oh, yeah, and by the way, I'm in the home of this year's NFL champions, baby. The Kansas City Chiefs, baby. I'm in Kansas City. Where are you checking in from, bro? What part of the country? I know you travel a lot, so where you at right now?
So I live in San Antonio, but I'm originally from New York. The military brought me here back in 2005, and then I've been on and off doing a whole bunch of stuff. But 2016 was when I finally settled down, and now I call San Antonio home.
Oh, nice, man. So you love San Antonio. Definitely a different energy from New York, bro. How do you go from New York to San Antonio and then eventually in this crazy-ass world professional wrestling? You got to give us a snippet of that story.
Yeah, for sure. So I always go back to that. My first love of wrestling began back in when I was 4 years old, and I lived in Puerto Rico, right? Now, I know a lot of people have some negative context with Carlos Colon. I totally get it. For us in Puerto Rico, he is the Hulk Hogan, the Ric Flair, the Mil Máscaras. He is the guy, right? So imagine watching him on TV. I'm front row, and Abdul the Butcher is stabbing him with a fork, blood falling on him.
Whoa. You were there?
Yep. Yeah. So Abdul the Butcher and Carlos Colon ran so many times out in Puerto Rico. And I'm telling you right now, what people think of like death matches and hardcore, Puerto Rico's been doing it for decades. I think it was like Ric Flair said, blood equals money, especially in Puerto Rico. And that was it. So for me, Abdul the Butcher, he was like the boogeyman for me. Like I had nightmares of this dude. That shit was so real to me, right? Man. So, so fast forward, I was a massive WWF fan. Matter of fact, I learned English because of WWF.
Hold on, so they were showing that down in PR, they were showing WWE broadcasting on TV back in the day?
So there wasn't, because at that time all we had was 3 channels. But then we moved to New York. Sorry. So then around 7 years old, moved to New York, and that was when I started learning English. And my uncle had tapes, VHS tapes of old WWF. So I got to see Razor Ramon, Diesel, Undertaker versus Undertaker, stuff like that. So that's what really got me loving wrestling. Like I said, and I was massive fan for years. Went to Okinawa, got stationed in Okinawa for 3 years. So that's where I got introduced to a little bit of the Japanese wrestling. I didn't know too much about it.
Dope.
But yeah, so there used to be this promotion out there, Rikyu Pro Wrestling, and it was the most outrageous characters and all that. But that's what kind of introduced me a little bit to the Japanese wrestling. Got to see Tiger Mask for the first time. That's what kind of got me in there, because I'm not gonna lie, 2010, 2013, that was when WWE was doing the whole guest host, and it was, for me, it was floundering. It made me lose it. I come back to the States. I discovered Daniel Bryan. Now, mind you, I feel terrible because I should have known about Bryan Danielson years ago, but I was one of those WWE fans that was just so obsessed with WWE. I would buy every DVD. I was so into it that I had blinders on. Because as you know, back then, especially, if you was a WWE fan, that's all you knew was WWE. Like nowadays is way different, right? So fast forward a little bit more, and I'm starting to lose my love of wrestling a little bit. 2016-ish, right?
Okay.
It's just not. It just wasn't. It was doing the same thing over and over and over again. And then they had the Cruiserweight Classic, right? And I was like, oh my goodness, wait a minute. Oh wait, hold on a second. Sony.
Here we go. Hey, we allow trolls here, just so you know. You
hey, we love to be hated. 27, baby. Wait, come on. Don't hate, appreciate.
Yeah, I don't think the Phillies have that many. I
got my Tino Martinez card.
Get out of here. Filling your trash ass fans. Get out of here. Man,
this guy's also an Eagles fan, so I got
Eagles. Oh man, y'all the worst city. Y'all the worst fans. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah,
Yankees all the way, brother.
Yeah.
Exactly. There you go.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
No, you guys are saying it wrong. It's Los Yankees.
Los Yankees.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but I'm sorry. I forgot one major thing that brought me back to wrestling. I was listening to a Stone Cold podcast with JR, and he said, "Hey, I'm doing this thing called Wrestle Kingdom." And he was like, it's Japanese wrestling, blah, blah. And I had a little bit of context back because of Okinawa, right? So then I watched this. And everyone talks about, Nakamura, Okada. For me, it was Ishii versus Makabe. That was the match that I was like, what the fuck is this? Dude, it blew my mind. I'm like, this is like, because I'm a huge MMA fan. So I'm like, this is like a shoot or not a shoot. What is from then on? It was over. So I just slowly started deteriorating my love for WWE. Again, by 2017, the Royal Rumble. After that, I was done with WWE. I get it. Hey, much love to everyone that loves WWE. It's just not my thing. And one thing that always irritated me, because now, I watch I try to watch everything. I'm having the same issue as you, Night Owl. There's too much to watch.
Yeah, dog. It's hard. It's hard out here for a player.
Dude, I know. And as you can see by my wall, I'm literally into way too many things, like way too many effing things. So keeping up with wrestling is kind of a pain in the ass. But one of my biggest pet peeves, and this is something that with WWE fans, I see a lot what it is that they complain about what they're watching, right? And they say, well, wrestling's not the same. I don't like wrestling. I'm like, well, come on now. You have AEW, you have MLW, choices. You have New Japan, you have AAA, you have CMLL. So many.
And you got all the old school shit. All you got to do is go on YouTube.
Old school shit.
And you got all the old school shit. AWA,
oh my God,
NWA. It's too much, bro.
I wish I remember this channel. But there's this channel. It's like old school Chicago wrestling. And there was this 1950s match. Oh, dude, I'm sorry. I'm blanking on the names.
Jay Wade is losing it over there, bro. He loves what you're talking about right now.
No, not Dick the Bruiser. God damn it. Hold on.
The Crusher?
The Crusher. Okay, I think it was the Crusher, but it was against Luthez.
Ooh.
And mind you, my context of back in the day was a lot of like Jay Strongbow doing like the scratches and all that, and Bruno Sammartino. I'm like, he was 70s, but that kind of wrestling. I saw this match. I'm like, this is amazing. This is like 80s, 90s. You're doing so much acrobatic stuff. And then I'm like, wow. So that's what I'm saying. There's so much to watch out there. And they just complain about it. It's just, it irritates me. Yeah. So anyways, I'm sorry. So as you guys
I'm going to pass it along to these guys because we covered a lot of ground. But I do want to say something before we go to Jay Wade.
Yeah.
Okay, so you brought up Puerto Rico. I know that's where we lost Bruiser Brody. Here's something that's going to blow your mind. So in a couple of weeks, God willing, we'll be interviewing the widow of Bruiser Brody, Barbara Goodish. And she'll also be at the ASICW Fan Fest in May, I believe. So Scott, that's right, May 13th. So we're going to get an interview an opportunity. She doesn't do a lot of interviews. We're going to get a chance to interview his widow. So if you go back, bro, make sure you locked in for that one because we like to bring those people and put them on the pedestal. You know what I'm saying? Because the OGs, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. So I'll throw it to Jay Wade, but I just want to let you know that because it ties it back to me. Bruiser Brody passed. Everybody knows the history,
Yeah, and I would say, like, unfortunately, people when think of Bruiser Brody, they just think about his death. They don't go back to All Japan of him coming out like the beast. That's why that's why I love Togi Makabe so much because he based his character after Bruiser Brody. Seeing those old school 80s and 90s All Japan matches,
oh my God,
it was amazing.
Oh my God, I can talk all day.
So good, yeah.
Japan wrestling, my friend. Bruiser Brody, Jimmy Snuka against the Funks they tore down the house.
Yeah.
They
I've
beat the
never
holy
seen
hell
that.
out of one another. Oh, it's on YouTube. It's Bruiser Brody, Jimmy Snuka against the Funks, and then you got Harley Race and he's teaming with somebody, but they took on the Road Warriors in Japan, and it's like 1985, 1986 ish.
Yeah.
So
Wait, these guys?
Nice.
Yeah. I don't ever get to show off that poster. I figure I'd
There
take
you
the
go, there you go.
opportunity right there.
It was Dick Slater. It was Harley Race and Dick Slater against the Road Warriors. So, anyways, thank you for being on the show, man.
Thank you.
You are, you seem like you have a fine respect for the business,
Yes.
and I've checked out your promotion since I found out you're coming on the show. Because it's a new promotion. I'm always finding being a host on the show is very interesting because I'm introduced to new things, that I never experienced before. And one thing I've never experienced before is having a fluorescent light bulb smashed over my back. Now, I've been put through. Now, I was Luke Roberts and me have known each other for a long time. I started out working in the business. I haven't wrestled in a handful of years, but the most I did, I've had steel chairs and been put through tables. Now, have you had a fluorescent light bulb busted over you?
I have it in my back one time.
What is that feeling? Because it just stresses me out thinking of the particles from the air, So what goes through your mind when you get a fluorescent light bulb smashed in your back like a baseball bat?
So one, it was a terrible idea. I'm never gonna do it again. I'm lead up to professionals. It feels like a burn sensation, like it's like a shock, like But what really is a pain is when you take a shower, because that is just burn. It's just burn sensation, and it's hard to take off. It was. Oh my God! I was like, never again am I gonna ever do something like that. I believe that to professionals. I'm good.
And how interesting was it performing in that water park that The Walking Dead was filmed at? Man?
Crazy.
It was amazing. It was amazing. I just want to say before I talk about that, I just want to talk about just the origin of Borracho Pro, because I think it's a wonderful.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No. By all means. Yes, that's my fault. I should have brought it up earlier. But so. Essentially, we used to be part of this giant wrestling fan group. It doesn't matter. It was like Southwest Wrestling Group or whatever. It was like a group of 50 of us. We would go around to support Austin, Houston, Dallas, Laredo. We support. We'd be like helping the wrestlers, go over, chanting for them. Bring the energy, right? And there was this one show. So there used to be a promotion called Wrestle Circus. It was essentially like the PWG of the South. They would bring a lot of the AEW guys you see now. They've all wrestled in Wrestle Circus at one point or the other. So I saw these group of guys, that were also part of the group, that had a bag full of beer, and I had a flask. So I go up to them. I was like, "Hey man, you want some of my flask?" And then they go, "Oh yeah, shoot, you want some of this beer?" And because of that small connection, that formed the core of us, which is the Borracho crew. Now, again, we start out as fans and all that. One thing we realize is we love drinking and we love deathmatch wrestling. So during 2019, we started seeing a lot of deathmatch related content and promotions come to Texas and to Austin. And we realized that people here didn't know how to properly build weapons. We're talking about bats with tacks, doors, little explosives and all that. So we actually provide that service as fans. Start, hey, here, we would find light tubes. We would set everything up. Then there was a promotion, ICW, so ICW NHB, right? They do a promotion here in San Antonio. We helped them out, and also No Peace Underground, another deathmatch promotion. And one of the guys who's actually helped support make their weapons said, "Hey, how come you guys don't have a promotion? You guys have a lot of just knowledge and just a whole bunch of stuff." This was back in 2019. And we're like, you know what? That's a pretty good idea, right? And then of course the pandemic happened and all that. And then this year we said, you know what? We're just gonna do it. We keep talking. We have the connections. We know the wrestlers. And we know a lot of the fans. We can book this, right? Now I will say that trying to find a place. So one of the things we learned quickly is trying to find a venue for wrestling,
Oh boy,
it's hard.
Woo.
It is
Woo.
it is hard. Some of these venues charge an arm and a leg, or we wanted to do, again, we're kind of death match kind of heavy promotion. We want to be a little bit of everything, but definitely death match because as you can see by our logo with the blood and the light tubes and stuff like that. So we one of my friends, because they live in Austin, and they're talking about there's this water park that they're open, to actually help, to actually run a promotion. They like to do weird things. They're not wrestling fans, but they like to expand the horizon. So like, okay, let's check it out, right? And they gave us a sweet deal. They're like, listen, if you can meet a certain amount of liquor sales, well, the venue will be free. And I'm like, well, that's a no-brainer.
Nice.
Yep, because people love to drink.
Exactly. Now, what we did anticipate, because it was an awesome venue. Again, we had this giant freeze like the previous week, right? And I will tell you right now, we were definitely scared because, again, we took a gamble doing an outdoor show. So a lot of variables can go wrong, to include the freeze. They even called us 2 days prior and we're like, we have bad news, guys. We're like, fuck. What is it? Unfortunately, we're not gonna have Wi-Fi. I was like, okay, that's the bad news. Okay, I'm good, man. We're good, baby.
Work around.
We're good. Yeah, we're good. We're good, man. And yeah, and turned out to be an awesome turnout. So we did really good with our pre-sales, but what surprised us was because there's not much there around. It's like really, because you have to do a whole bunch of turns. It is like its own little nook and cranny spot. We did anticipate was the locals that live there actually came and bought tickets because they either saw the sign, they heard the noises of the ring and all that, and they're not really wrestling fans. They're like, this looks interesting, and there's liquor. And by the end of the night, they were screaming, hollering. The owners loved it. They asked if this is real. It was amazing. Like, the fans left happy. So I was like, yes. So going back to what you're saying about running that water park, it was a gamble, but I think it's a unique location where, as you can see by some of the pictures, you have a beautiful sunset. You have the water there. I mean, resting on the beach. I mean, come on now. Going back to some WCW type of stuff. I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
All right, so I'm going to throw it to my man real quick because I think you'll appreciate this. So I know a guy who helped put a show together right in the middle of Cinco de Mayo on the busiest damn corner in all of St. Louis. And that's this guy. So Skywalker, just briefly talk to us about the idea of running a show right next to the water versus running a show on the corner of Hollywood and Vine in the heart of the hood in St. Louis, because I was there, bro. Y'all did a crazy thing that night. It was freaking nuts. It was nuts.
Well, first of all, I got to say, like Justin did earlier, welcome to the show. And to give you an idea, running an event like at a water park, I mean, again, I'll tell you right now, there's two things popping in my head. One is Cinco de Mayo, and when you have a crowd that's very much a consuming crowd, that's one of the things a lot of times you see in pro wrestling. And it's kind of crazy to put it, but you see that association between the bar and wrestling fans. It's just a given. But one thing I got to tell you is this, having not only been there, but also the Riot on the River series. I know, Renee, you've been to a Riot on the River event here in the St. Louis area. We were actually probably 100 feet from the Mississippi River. So I know how much of a challenge it
was hard
to make it.
It was super hard.
The only thing I got to say is this, I got to give you props. I think between being a Texas-based situation as well as being in February, it was probably pretty tolerable as far as things were going. We did ours in the middle of July when it was 100 degrees with about 70% humidity.
That just means more drinking, bro. You're going to sell more alcohol like that. Like, you get these people drinking that shit, boy.
And you're sweating before you get to the ring. And I mean, again, we had a lot of wrestlers put on a great thing. Now, I want to go back here a minute. Being a longtime professional wrestling fan, and I'm going to tell you right off the bat, Jay Wade and I, we are long-term friends in the professional wrestling industry. You name it, there's a lot of professional wrestling promotions we follow, past, present, and future. I have a question for you going back, being, and I think Night Owl would agree here, kind of the resident New Japan member of the Wrestle Talk podcast family for the most part.
Yeah.
I want to throw this at you from being a fan's perspective. You talk about Togi Makabe. You could talk about people like Kazuchika Okada. You could talk about Tanahashi. You could talk about the ticking time bomb Hiromu. You could talk about Minoru Suzuki. My question is this. With all of your studying of professional wrestling, who would you say is the one wrestler that you would love to bring to one of your promotions events? Money is no object.
Money is no object. Tanahashi.
You get to bring one person
Tanahashi
from the Japanese professional wrestling scene.
Yep. So you know what? I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna go 2.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Tanahashi. One of the reasons is I think he is the ultimate babyface. I think he is like there's baby faces. I think one of the big reasons why a lot of times baby faces don't work is nowadays is because one, you know, they tend to be kind of cheesy. They tend to be, and sometimes it feels fake. With Tanahashi, there's no fakeness. And it always goes back to, I remember it was one of the first shows when they had fans during pandemic, and that's when they couldn't cheer. And all you see is at the end of the match, Tanahashi, tears in his eyes, and he's just hugging himself. He's pointing at fans and hugging himself as to shows like, no, thank you for coming. I love you here. Like, it's like him hugging himself was him hugging the fans. And that right there, like, come on now. Like, that
genuine. It's genuine, man.
Talking about it, man. It's like that's such an ultimate baby face. I love it. I love it. And then the other guy that I would bring, Suzuki. Suzuki has a type of realism, a type of connection with the fans, a type of a type of just style that you don't see pulled off very well nowadays. A lot, of course, you know, with MMA and all that, there's a lot of shoot style kind of wrestling like him, but very few come off as real as him. You see him, you run away. You're scared because he will put fear in your eyes.
Bro, by the way, I want to add to this because I have been paying attention. Can we please get a Suzuki Timothy Thatcher match like yesterday?
Yes.
Jay Wade, bro, can we please make that happen somewhere? Oh, wait, there's a promoter talking to us right now. Bro, we will help sponsor a match like that. Now, Thatcher, you know, he's moving around a little bit right now, so there may be an opportunity. But a Suzuki versus Thatcher match, I think for people that appreciate that style, it's a dream match. Am I wrong?
Yes. And Suzuki's going to be here. He's going to be in the U.S.
Oh,
he's doing a U.S. tour.
He's coming back. Yeah, baby.
I know.
I love
it, man.
You know, one thing I got to look at, guys, and I'm gonna ask you your thoughts here on this. You talk about wrestlers like Minoru Suzuki. I would like to know your thoughts on a man who's really been kind of making a name as being a no frills, take no prisoners wrestler, and Tomohiro Ishii. Would that be another one that would be in your wheelhouse of somebody that you would consider to be a fan of?
Yes, I think Ishii is unheralded as his position in New Japan. So one thing I think that's been kind of lost with modern wrestling that you saw back in the day, especially guys like Roddy Wright Piper, is you don't need to put a belt on a person for them to be over, for them to put on great matches, for them to be booked. And that's Ishii. Now, being part of Chaos, you know he was never going to go over Okada. And his character work is he's just no frills. He said no frills. But you know, if you put Ishii in a match, you're going to get the best. It's always going to be a top 3 match of that night. I mean, he's a guy that, in my opinion, I would put just top 20. For me personally, like a top 20 wrestler. And even a top 10, top 5 of guys who hasn't had a major belt. Mind you, he's had like the never open weight before it put up, stuff like that. But never the guy to really build a promotion around. So, I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. Like when I saw him at the G1 in Dallas, I went crazy because I love him. I hear the woof.
I gotta tell you right now, that's one of the things I got to look at. I mean, again, I've told Justin this on countless occasions. I told Night Out. One of the very few things left on my bucket list, and I got an opportunity to attend the Cauliflower Alley Club back in September. One of the things I got to say it's on my bucket list is not just catching a New Japan event, but catching a New Japan event little thing called Wrestle Kingdom.
Yes.
And that's one of those things there. And Gabriel, if you don't know who Tomohiro Ishii is, you need to go onto YouTube. You need to go
No. I think it's a redundant question. He's saying who? Ishii, not who is Ishii.
Yeah.
Well, again,
I think that's what he's saying.
He's playing the game.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Hey, that kid knows his shit, bro. You know he does.
True. That is true. My final question, and I'm going to go ahead and throw it back to my colleagues here. You talk about the hardcore style, and I'm not going to fib to the viewers here. We've had several people that have been kind of, I don't want to say anti-hardcore, but they've been very outspoken against hardcore wrestling. I'm going to tell you right now, I've had the opportunity to be in the ring with countless hardcore individuals. I've had several matches with the likes of the Ian Rottens, the Hooligans, Neil Diamond Cutter, Chewy Martinez, Darren Childs,
Madman Pondo.
Okay.
This goes on.
And again, we're going to talk about this in the days and weeks to come. The coronated NWA National Heavyweight Champion. That's another discussion. Lenny Mephisto. We're going to talk about that here in a bit. But my question to you is this. You just recently put on your first event.
Yes.
And we're 2 months into 2023. My question to you is this. And if you want to share, that's fine. If you want to kind of tip your hand a little bit, that's totally well and good.
Yeah.
Who would you say by the end of 2023? And I'm not going to go with one since you kind of bent the rules a little bit. We'll go with a match.
Okay.
Who would you like to see? And what stipulation would you make for your promotion?
That is a very, very good one. That is a very good one. So it's gonna be any stipulation and
any competitor. There's countless men that compete in the hardcore style, who compete in that style of wrestling.
So
death match, ultra-violent wrestling.
Yeah, that was to say, there's two different. So death matches and hardcore is two different things. Mm-hmm. And also I want to respond to the guy who said it takes no skill to do death matches, because I'm gonna retort to that. But if I was to retort that, okay, I would say I would love to have the Crazy Monkey, Japan, Jun Asakai.
Akiano?
No, Jun Asakai, Jun.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, the dude is insane. If any match, it would be a 10,000 light tube match with Jun Kasai versus Drew Parker, who is a guy who's been really pulling his stuff in BJW, and so there's that would be if we could ever pull something off like that, that would be amazing. Now, to retort about the skill, about it takes a skill, it doesn't skill. Okay, so I equate to death match, doing it probably like, yes, anyone can get hit with light tubes and all that, but there is a certain way to do it without injuring someone. And also coming off believable, and be able to take the pain, because it's a very painful. These guys that do death matches, they love to do death matches. This isn't something. It's like, it's one thing to take a bump in a race. It's another thing to get put against light tubes or go against barbed wire. But there's a skill to it. There is a way to put on good death matches and bad death matches. And one thing that we saw with this growth of a lot of death matches or promotions is that a lot of these guys don't know how to do it properly. But I'll tell you this though, I used to be in a camp of not liking death matches, and I will say, for anyone that does not like death matches, just one time attend an event live, a death match event live. The energy, the real ability of the guys, it's out of this world. It's what made me love it. Was actually attending one.
And I can tell you right now, that is a very appropriate answer to me, because like I said, again, you look at hardcore, you look at death matches, and I had an opportunity to watch some things through Vice and through A&E, talking about ultra violent wrestling. There is a way that you can have those kind of matches and there is a certain element to that matchup. I had an opportunity, I think Justin remembers seeing the matchup. There was a matchup here in the St. Louis area between Lenny Mephisto and Madman Pondo.
Nice.
Most men sit there and they look at it and they go, no. I was actually man enough to announce from inside a barbed wire ring. I remember our broadcast colleague Chris Rodell going, "You could not pay me to get in a barbed wire ring, one, let alone in a barbed wire ring with Madman Pondo. And I'll tell you right now, seeing some of these longtime veterans of that style of matches, like your Ian Rottens, like your Madman Pondos, like your Two Tough Tonys, like your Corporal Robinsons, like your Necro Butchers.
Yes.
I mean, there are a lot of wrestlers, Chewy Martinez, the Hooligans, Neil Diamond Cutter, among others. There are a lot of wrestlers that can go out there. And again, they talk about telling a story.
Yep.
And it can be done and taken care of. But again, there are some people that literally fly off the handle. So,
yeah, exactly.
And that's where it is now.
That's a fucking lie. That's a fucking lie. Come on now.
Now, at this point, gentlemen,
yo, these fans got some heat for you today, bro.
Yeah, nah.
Angel,
my boy
Sonny.
Sonny.
He likes to mess with people.
With Derek Jeter, it's the intangibles, okay? It's the intangibles and what he would do in October.
Oh,
damn it.
All right.
Have you seen Derek Jeter's other lineup though? Like all the people that he's been with. Oh, I mean, that's unchallengeable.
Exactly. That's the reason he was called the captain.
That's right, Cap. now he's doing Lincoln commercials, but I guess that's neither.
Gotta make
that's
money.
neither here nor there. I did want to expand on that point, Skywalker, but not intending to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to throw it back to you and Justin because, like I said, we're going to have a great conversation here as a part of episode 427 of the Wrestle Talk podcast right here, right now. I'm going to throw it back to you, Nana.
Appreciate that. Well, listen, so I saw the comments and I was kind of reserving my thoughts because our boy Sonny was talking his shit, talking about, me in particular hating on deathmatch wrestling. And I think Illmatic kind of almost stole my thunder because there's a difference between having a death match and having a death match correctly. If I genuinely believe that the guys out there are going to hurt themselves or the fans or each other, that's not something that I'm looking forward to seeing. And when I say hurting themselves, I don't mean breaking a light tube or doing the spots that you're supposed to do. I'm talking about like things that happen like to G Raver. Anybody remember what happened to G Raver? G Raver's freaking bones sticking out from the side. You know what I'm saying? Like some wild shit like that. That for me, that's not healthy for anybody. It's not healthy for the business. It's not healthy for the individual. It's not healthy for the promotion. So you can spare me with all this Joey Janela for president bullshit. If you can't give me a death match, make it feel real, but also everybody walks out of there at 100%, then I'm going to be honest, that goes to you, Angel. That goes to anybody else who does deathmatch shit. I don't want it. I'm going to change the channel because if I feel like these dudes don't know what the fuck they're doing, then, excuse me, I don't want to be a part of it. Jay Wade, I know you have an extensive history with professional wrestling. Am I off base here? Do I have the right to demand entertaining but safe death matches? Is that fair?
No, here's the thing.
Am I out of line?
You're not out of line. No, everybody has their own likes and opinions on what they want to see. Okay, when I performed, the most I did, like I said, is I got hit with a chair in the back and I got put through a table. The deathmatch scene is not my cup of tea per se to do it, but I love watching a good deathmatch. Terry Funk and Mick Foley back in the day put on classic death matches done right, and I am sure you're given that respect with your knowledge and what you follow. I'm sure with your promotion, you're doing your best to put that respect back into it to give fans good shows. And so
hey, so far so good from the highlights, right? Jay Wade, I know you were checking out Baracho Pro. They're killing.
Blessed. I saw that
that shit looked bad fun.
I saw that wiffle ball bat with tacks in it, and I'm like, that looks like what I have under my bed.
It hurts.
So
it hurts. Yeah, and I just want to add on to that as well. One of the reasons why the group of us decided to start making weapons and stuff like that is because we started seeing people being unsafe, not knowing any better. Like bringing T8, like there's a difference between a T8 light tube and a T12 light tube. It's because but regular fans are not going to know that. People bring in weapons and stuff that they're not going to know that. So one of the reasons we wanted to start doing it is to make sure the boys are safe. And that's one thing that we pride ourselves in our promotion is like we ran the show. No one was injured. Everyone came out scot-free. Everyone got paid, and the fans loved it. That is safety is always one of the most important things for us, and it's always been, and it will always continue to be. Because if the boys are are unable to work safe because of an environment that we're providing, then what's the point?
You're not doing your job.
Exactly.
Yeah, because everybody's got to go home to their family. So I'm going to piggyback on that question and jump into something specifically about this last show, Illmatic. So there's two guys on the card that I recognize. I'd like for you to talk about them, but there's a lot of people that I did not recognize, and I want to thank you for bringing light to amazing talent that maybe I haven't seen before all the way up here in Kansas City. So I'm familiar with Stud Stash.
Okay, nice.
Best stash in the game. All right. I saw him at Yeah, dude. Yo, my man is legit, and trust me, he's an ass kicker. Stud Stash, I saw him at UUCW about 6 months ago. I did some commentary up there. Shout out to Pena. Shout out to the whole team over there. These guys are killing out in the central Kansas. And then I also recognize him by his former name. Forgive me if I don't remember the new one. The man formerly known as Kurt Stallion.
Yes.
You also had Kurt Stallion on the card. So talk to us a little bit about those two guys, and then talk to us a little bit about some of the talent that maybe we're not as familiar with.
No, for sure. So Kurt Stallion, he's actually someone that we followed for a while. When he would come here to Texas, he actually became good friends with two of the Borracho crew. They do a lot of things together, and that's how they actually. So they even flew to Orlando to go see him when he was injured and all that. Kurt, he's a great talent. Unfortunately, got caught up in some online nonsense, and then unfortunately, because he was trained by Elgin, which I don't want to get into that, but he almost got, I want to say blacklisted, but it's hard for him to kind of get his name out there again. So one of the things that we want to do with Stallion is just to make sure it's like, hey, to show he's a great wrestler, he puts on amazing matches. It's just he just needs the opportunity to come out there again, because he's done his time, he's done all that stuff like that. So he's a guy that we plan to, again, we know him personally. We want to keep booking him, so that's a good thing. Stud Stash, we actually know him from a while back, so another one of the Borracho crew, his name's Insane, who was one of the guys that was on the card, and they had this amazing triple threat. Thank you very much. Triple threat. Not triple threat, but three sets of matches between the three of them doing different kinds of deathmatch wrestling. The last one was at a bar, and that's where Stud Stash actually he debuted his little we call his armor thing,
right,
which is essentially he just took one of the back ends of a motorcycle and just took it out and just
put it on his arm.
yeah, just put it on his arm because he's big enough to hold it. That thing's heavy, by the way. I'm gonna tell you right now. That thing's good. That thing's heavy.
That's a big boy too, though.
Philly. Anyways, so another guy, Gino Medina. You guys see him on MLW. He's actually linked with Roxanne Perez, I think her name is, in WWE.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're linked together. They've, Roxy's one. I just want to say shout out to Roxy. I love her. I've seen her.
On
She's
fire.
16. I'm so proud of her. Thank you for making Texas proud. But yeah, so Gino was always kind of tied with her because they kind of just wrote a lot together. And he's doing great in MLW, but he's another guy that he really got his fame here in Texas, so we book him a lot. But the one other guy I want to point out is his name is Brick Savage. Now, he's the guy that went up against Aaron Mercer. Aaron Mercer did a whole bunch of different deathmatch kinds of things, and he got known out a little bit. He got some YouTube clips and stuff like that. That's what we wanted, but he wanted to get away from the deathmatch stuff because, shockingly, after a year and a half, body has to recover. So he said, I want to do a real wrestling match. I'm like, well, we had this guy called Brick Savage, who is properly named Brick Savage because he's a damn fucking brick house, and he's a guy. I think he's in the business for 1 or 2 years. He gets booked a lot down in Austin. I first heard of him in Inspire Pro. Now, for a lot of people, you may not know Inspire Pro, but you'll know the names of like MJF, Ricky Starks.
Of course.
This guy, he knows great talent, and I don't know where you even found him from. But once I saw him, I'm like, we got to book this guy. And again, he has a really core big following that follows him everywhere. And in my opinion, him and Aaron Mercer put on the best match of that night. And the last one I just want to point out, because this is kind of for us Texas fans, this is kind of good. This is kind of important to us. The name was Richie against Corvus. Now Richie, you're not gonna know him. He's one of these just local guys here in Texas. that he's been around for 5-10 years, really just he helped bring the Texas scene up. And it was great seeing him. And this was his retirement match. And he against Corvus, who's a guy who he's part of this new evil stable, and him and Richie have this whole beef. So that's why you saw when the matches come out, you'll see Richie's son, his wife got involved and all that, is because it was emotional for them because this was his last match. So that match, if having the context of that, if you watch that match, it means so much more because he put his body through a whole bunch of stuff to make sure he puts on one of the best matches of the night. So,
well, we appreciate you putting over so many wonderful guys. Again, fellas, ladies, everybody in between, Borracho Pro. If you're looking for a new promotion to get into that likes to play outside the sandbox, or maybe they play inside the sandbox, but they play with sharp toys. Okay, because they were basically at the edge of the beach. I mean, that's pretty freaking badass. One thing that popped into my mind, and we do want to get into the game show challenge with you, Angel.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking I presented, that Thatcher match earlier, but I'm thinking dream match one day maybe will never happen. What about young Solo Sikoa versus Ishii? Would that be intriguing?
That would be, yes.
Talk about fantasy booking. I mean, maybe that could be fun. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, it'd be a good time.
You know what? Well, I'm gonna write down my little notepad of different ideas and we'll see if we make it happen. I'm hoping
pop off. That's a little out of line, but I was like, man, I was thinking about all these because you're talking about bringing all these incredible people against each other, and I mean, my mind just starts going, like a booker, like booking matches, having a good time. Okay, so here's where it gets really, really interesting. This has been a lot of fun.
Okay.
Jay Wade even messaged me. He's like, "Yo, amazing guest." I go, "Ya tú sabes."
Ya tú sabes, papi. Ya tú sabes.
Ya tú sabes, papi. Stop calling me papi. Okay, papi.
Okay, my bad.
Okay, my bad. Okay, so Skywalker game show challenge time. Why don't you go ahead and give us the rules? We'll hit the music and then we'll get right into it.
All right. Well, basically the rules are simple. I'm going to give you information about 3 famous professional wrestlers. They're all going to have a common theme. I will give you details about each individual. When you think you know who I'm talking about, you shout out your answer. First to win 2 out of 3 falls will win tonight's game show challenge. Now, I'm not going to lie to you here. Jay Wade's been on a roll. He's had a lot of good victories. He was able to be here when Sonny Money lost his last go around with the game show challenge.
That was hilarious.
One you would consider a wealth of wrestling knowledge. And we talked about it before we came on the air. He said it would be an honor to compete against you this evening, and it would be an honor to sweep you here tonight.
Woo! Jay Wade really said that? Jay Wade, that's disrespectful.
I know.
Goodness.
I respect the guest, but I have to respect my game. So,
hey, real recognize real. You will probably beat me in this. I have terrible memory, but I'm down. Let's see. If I get one right,
it's okay. Before I met my wife, I had no wife. So,
all right. Well, like I said, we're going to go ahead. We're going to hit the game show challenge music here in just a second. But I do want to let you know, once we hit the music, I will unveil tonight's Wrestle Talk podcast game show challenge category. So, Night Owl, if we can go ahead and hit us a little bit of game show challenge music. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this week's installment of the world-famous Wrestle Talk Podcast Game Show Challenge. Tonight's contest is scheduled for the best 2 of 3 fall between Illmatic Angel and the Wrestle Talk Podcast's own Justin Wade. Gentlemen, you're aware of the rules. Tonight's Wrestle Talk Podcast Game Show Challenge category is ROH and WWE champions.
Oh, shit. Okay.
These individuals have held championships in both ROH and the WWE.
Okay.
Angel, you ready?
Let's do it.
Jay Wade, are you ready? Question number 1. This individual has held countless championships across the globe. including the ROH Pure Championship, the World Television Championship, and the World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh,
Kevin Steen?
Bryan Danielson?
No. This individual is also a former GHC Tag Team Champion, and he currently holds the Ring of Honor Television and AEW.
Samoa Joe.
That is correct.
Damn it, I was too soon. Damn it. Okay, yeah.
Justin Wade is ahead one fall to none. That's okay, Angel. You still got 2 more to go here.
All right, let's go.
And also for the record, too, Justin Wade happens to be a Samoa Joe fan. So,
okay, that's fair. That's fair.
So
Who isn't?
Yeah,
Who is it?
That's a better question.
Everybody's a Joe fan. Come on, man.
Okay.
My favorite match, Samoa Joe, Kenta Kobashi.
Oh, my God.
Ooh.
Amazing. I love that. I've seen that match so many times, but yes, go.
Yeah,
All right, here we go. Question number 2. This individual has held the ROH World and Pure Championships. He has also held championships in GHC, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, New
Nigel
Japan
McGuinness?
Pro Wrestling, no, FIP, and the WWE. Presently, he is on pace to wrestle against MJF at AEW's next pay-per-view.
Oh, Bryan Danielson.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
At this point, it's 2 falls to nothing for Justin Wade. Now, Night Owl, I have to share this with you. I think we're now officially calling this the alpha rule, is that if our host decides they say they can sweep and can't do it, then the host or the guest wins.
I like that.
I like that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because last week the same thing happened, and we went double or nothing with Violencia and Paz. Go back and watch the Violencia and Paz show if you guys didn't last week. That was a great interview, just like this one with the Illmatic Rican. But I say, hey, listen.
It's better because I'm part of it. So
in the words of Mills Lane, let's get it on.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Our third and final question. In addition to holding championships in the WWE and Ring of Honor, this individual has held championships in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, Full Impact Pro, IWA Mid-South, and
Tyler Black, Seth Rollins.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, 3 falls to none.
Got me.
Pulling off the sweep, the one, the only Justin Wade.
Thank you. Hey, that
well
was
done.
deserved.
Well done. Well
I
done.
can
But
tell you right
let's
now.
be clear here. Hold on. Let's be clear. My man literally just came off a weekend where he ran an entire pro wrestling show. Jay Wade, what did you do this weekend?
Let's see. This past weekend, I slept about 8 to 10 hours, and I went to the gym and worked out for about 2 hours. Then the next day, I slept for about 8 to 10 hours and worked out for another 2 hours. So
I say we set a rematch for a couple of months down the road.
down.
When
Do
you
it.
come back,
I am down.
all
I'm
right,
down.
let's give this man
I'm
another
down.
opportunity where he's actually had a good night's sleep. Is that fair?
But hold on. He should have wrestling going through his head if he just
He
ran a
does,
wrestling
bro.
show.
But he's thinking Baracho Pro,
I am.
not our Ring of Honor. Come
You gotta
on,
be
man.
You got to be well-rounded. You know, if you want to.
I'm well-rounded. I'm
Night
very
Owl.
well-rounded.
I just had a vision.
I love
A
you guys.
big vision. No, this is a breaking news. This is a breaking news vision. This is
Okay.
a breaking news vision.
Let's hit it. A lot going on at the end of the show today.
I'm gonna give it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Looks like you're getting
want to hear about
challenged.
this
Angel,
on the
Angel's
Wrestle
getting
Talk
challenged.
Podcast social
Whoa.
media. Gentlemen, how about this? We always talk about the FWWC.
All right.
We always talk about the Wrestle Talk Podcast and the Game Show Challenge.
Uh-huh.
We've had Wrestle Madness. How about this?
All right.
Wrestle Talk Mania. An episode where we get 7 guests and they each challenge a host.
Oh.
Oh. Hey, I'm game. You know, because I can't remember what I had for breakfast, so I'll be happy to host.
I'll run the gauntlet if you'd like me to.
Ah, damn. All right.
Yeah, I love it.
That's brought to you by the great folks of the Wrestle Talk podcast. I know that the media department's going to be working overtime on that one. Wrestle Talk Mania. Make sure that you're paying attention.
Like
to all
it.
our great
The
social
people
media
like it.
platforms. Aaron Wallace agrees with
They
it.
like
too.
it.
We're going to see how it is. Make it a point. Send us your opinions at WrestleTalkPodcast.com. Send it to it on all forms of social media. And I'm going to throw it here right now. Angel, first of all, I want to say thank you for coming on and bringing such a great interview, great energy
Yes.
here to the program tonight.
Okay.
And for
Good
those that
man.
want to know more about your promotion, about yourself, and if they ever want to ask any questions about the San Antonio area and the Texas area, how can they get a hold of you?
So you can go find me on Facebook, Illmatic Angel, that's my handle. For on Facebook, Instagram, it's Borracho Pro, F to Phillies. Same thing on Twitter, just Borracho Pro. And you'll find us there. And I just want to say thank you. It's been an honor and a privilege to be part of the show, to be part of the premier wrestling podcast show video.
Let's go, baby. Yeah.
So, hey,
Thank you, man.
honor and privilege, man. Thank you again. And I look forward to coming back in the future. And I look forward to keep watching your episodes. Thank you very much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
Appreciate it.
we got it right
Thank
here.
you very much, man.
Can we get a round of applause for Illmatic Angel right here on the program?
Yeah, make some noise,
Give it a
y'all.
round
Let's
of
go. Make some noise.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you guys.
All right, ladies and
And
gentlemen.
I want to leave it off on this thing right here. Just one last thing right here for me to Angel before he goes. Bro, thank you for making time for us on the heels of such a big show. Like, if I've run 2 shows, that's all I've had the nerve to do. And the week after, bro, I didn't want to hear shit about wrestling. Don't talk to I just want to go to sleep. I want to snuggle with my lady. I want to have some snacks and shit. Don't talk to me. So the fact that you came on here a few days later, man, that alone, bro, thank you. Thank you. Welcome as the newest member of the Wrestle Talk family, bro.
Yes.
I gotta say that to you, man.
It's a great family. Appreciate it again. Appreciate it.
Respect, familia. Take it
Thank
easy,
you, man.
Boricua. Let's go. And let's go,
Dale.
Chiefs.
Go Yankees.
Yes, go
That's
Chiefs.
right. That's right. Look at me.
Eagle.
Get out of here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was everybody's favorite New York Rican, Illmatic Rican, the one and only Angel from Borracho Pro. You know what? I almost feel bad, and I hope he's still listening. It's Borracho Pro, and we didn't even hit this one time. So in honor of Borracho Pro, we got to hit this drop just one time tonight.
One time.
That's it. That's all for me. Skywalker, Jay Wade, close it out for us.
Fantastic show. Shut up, Luke.
Be that way. Be that way.
Great show. I'm glad. I like the dynamic of the 3 of us tonight. Our guest was fantastic. We could all talk high spots till we're blue in the face. The game show challenge. I'm 5-3 now. I'm keeping track. I'm looking forward to next week's show, and hopefully I get that book at some point, The Grappler, so I can read up on my research, and we'll get that taken care of. Luke, now you can speak now.
Oh, thanks, Jay Wade. Like I said, tonight was a great show from top to bottom. We want to thank everybody for making it a point to join us here on the program. We want to thank all of our great sponsors. We want to thank Royal Mills Transportation. We want to thank Wrath Bun Engraving. We want to thank the great folks over at Nobleman's Barber Lounge, Kansas City. If you want a great haircut in the Kansas City area, make it a point to check them out. Kincaid Arcade at the Oak Park Mall. Still got to make it out there and see all the great games they have available. Our good friend Jeremy Karp, the maestro over at Interstate 70 Sports Media, Little Popeye Designs. You can buy one of those great Wrestle Talk podcast tumblers. You can also buy one of those great Wrestle Talk podcast mug. Check us out on social media for more information on those. And the FWWC, the world's premier fantasy wrestling group. I got to tell you, from top to bottom, great guest. Big announcement, the Grappler joining us on Tuesday, February 21st. We're going to have more guests announced here in the next few days. Barbara Goodish is going to be joining us along with countless others. Ladies and gentlemen, make it a point. to stay safe. If you ever have any kind of issues, you ever have any kind of problems, as our good friend, the Maestro Jeremy Cart, puts out each and every week, we talk about the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. Make it a point each and every time. If you have any kind of problems, the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, 988. They're available 24/7, 365. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Let's Talk Wrestling, hashtag Let's Talk Wrestling, WrestleTalkPodcast.com for this episode as well as any episode that you wish to have. Ladies and gentlemen, for Luke Roberts, the Night Owl, Renee Martinez, and Justin Wade, I want to thank you very much and look forward to seeing you right here next week.